in team sports, because I hear this a lot, man, I don't got to like you, but I can still play with you.
No.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Okay. Oh, now you're going to start a real debate on social media. Okay.
No.
Talk about that. You got to like the people you play with?
You have to like the people that you're playing with because they have to trust you.
Okay. Because on the court or off the court? Yeah, you get y'all boys off the court. So you got to like them like that? Like, hey, man, come on over for dinner. Let's go.
Just being able to hang out, like, just not any animosity. Like, not like, oh, I'm better than you, like, so, like, you should, like, beat it.
Yeah.
Like, we all respect each other. Like, there's a level of respect that you need to have in order to have team success.
Yeah.
Because all the guys I play with, I have the utmost respect for.
Yeah.
But they have respect for me.
Yeah.
So it works.
Yeah. And so that respect is developed off the court.
So the respect developed on the court, seeing how you play, like, oh, can he do this? Can he do this? Okay, he can, but does he put in the work?
Bam. Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the End-to-End Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Nguyen. As my friends affectionately call me Ninja, you can call me Ninja too. This is the End-to-End Podcast, the alpha to the omega, beginning to the end, talking about life, motivation, entrepreneurship, inspiration, and offering you little morsels in this all-you-can-eat buffet called life. Today, we have a very special guest on this show, 2017 Cy Falls starting point guard, Texas State national basketball champion, current starting point guard at St. Thomas Celts in Houston, Texas, none other than the young Andrew Drew Nguyen. Man, welcome to the podcast, bro.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, man. Awesome. You know, generally we have a lot older guests. You know, they've had a little bit more of a life's journey. But I wanted to bring you on because in hearing your story, it was quite amazing as to how much you've accomplished already in a very, very young career. But first off, let me start by dispelling all the myths that we are not related.
No,
we
are not related at all.
And that not many Nguyen's are related.
No.
Okay. Actually, do you know where the Nguyen name comes from?
I do not.
Okay.
So if you could tell me, that'd be great.
Yeah, exactly. So I found this out just like last week, which is in the 16th century, there was a Nguyen dynasty in Vietnam. And then, you know, of course, in a dynasty, if you're the ruler, everybody gets your last name, I guess. But it just so happens to be that most of the dynasty was in the South. And so a lot of South Vietnamese were named Nguyen. So just to let you know, audience, we are not all related. Okay.
No, definitely not.
So dispelling that myth, though, we do share a common story, which is our families came over from Vietnam after the Vietnam War. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah. Talk to me about that journey in your life that you know of, because I'm sure you were very young at the time, as I was. Sort of how is that, and how did your journey in America begin?
Well, so I actually was born here in America. My parents are from Vietnam. Well, so my grandparents are from Vietnam. They brought over my parents via boat.
Okay.
So I was born and raised in Houston, and they've told me a bunch of stories and the hardships that they had and just the struggle coming over here and making a living for themselves. So nothing but praise to my parents and my grandparents for doing everything that they can for us. Yeah.
So culturally, and similar. So I was almost born here. So I came to America as, you know, I was less than a year old. So consider myself American, but I would imagine similarly, you know, there was a struggle in adapting an East-West culture.
For sure.
Right? Our parents, you know, very deep-rooted in Eastern culture, but we're here, land of opportunity, the great United States of America. So was that a big influence in your household growing up? Yeah,
definitely. Well, so my parents, luckily, they're a little more westernized, more cultured a little bit, just because of everything that they've been through at a young age. My grandparents are definitely more on the stricter Asian side, like the more stereotypical, like, you know, eat rice, like take off your shoes, all that stereotypical stuff.
Don't tell me that your furniture is covered in plastic, bro.
Oh, no. It was for a second. The first house we had, it was covered in plastic. But no, luckily, my parents, they were more cultural, and their influence definitely hit me hard because they allowed me to do things that normally typical stereotypical strict Asian parents wouldn't let you do, like play basketball, because you know, typically you're a doctor, or typically you're
a doctor or lawyer,
you
know, like an engineer.
Exactly.
So I say that facetiously because as a doctor and a lawyer, it's kind of one of those things. But that'll be in a new episode where I'll talk about my parental influences. But so that's within the household. Now you grew up in Houston.
Yeah.
Right. How did that affect your feeling or vibe in your community growing up through elementary school, junior high, and then we'll get into your high school career? But sort of that scenario, was your community predominantly minorities, or was it more of a Caucasian community? Was there any kind of racial tensions, so to speak? Sort of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so luckily, my parents worked really hard to put me and my sister in a position to where we lived in a safe environment. But I loved how it was diverse, and I met a bunch of different people, whether it was minorities or Caucasians. Like, it didn't really matter, and I was exposed to good relationships to each and every race. So I didn't really experience that in terms of just living, but in terms of playing sports, obviously playing basketball, predominantly African Americans, Caucasians, they dominate the sport. So it was a lot of hardships to getting past that and working around it, because we're always like 2 steps below. And even when you meet that threshold, they still have an advantage.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
We'll get through that. I mean, we'll get to that. That's awesome. And then which part of Houston did you grow up?
Cypress.
So that's, for those of y'all not familiar with Houston, that's a kind of northwest suburb of Houston, about 15, 20 minutes away from downtown. And so that time we're putting us in the 90s, right? And
99.
99. You
That's
graduated high
born.
school, or?
So I was born in 99, graduated 18.
18. Okay, got it. So then, damn, man, I'm getting my timing off because I'm a lot older than you.
Right.
Yeah. So
I'm still 22, so I've still got a lot of life.
Got a long ways to go, bro. So then, when did you first find a love for basketball?
Man, that's a great question.
Or when did you first find an interest before the love of the game?
Right. So shout out to my dad. He's always just put the game around me. Like, I remember watching home videos that my mom would record, and I'd just literally have a stuffed basketball like right next to me on my crib. My dad was a huge basketball fan. Can't play it though to save his life, but he'd just have it on. Like, he'd be playing NBA Live. He would have Michael Jordan highlights on. So I was always around it. So I'd say I really got like an interest when I was like 5 years old. That's when I would say like, I was like, yeah, I really like basketball.
Okay, and where are you in terms of siblings and such?
So I'm the older. I have one sister. I'm the oldest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is she a hooper as well?
She's not a hooper.
She's not a hooper. Okay.
She's more on the artistic side. She got that, the creative side.
Got it. So then, 5 years old, if you can remember, you're influenced by your dad in basketball. What did they do for a living?
So my dad was just doing a lot of different stuff. He would do tiles, like he would be a waiter. There's a lot of different stuff that he had to scrape for me, my mom, and eventually my sister to make a living. And my mom's a stay-at-home mom, working on some education stuff. But other than that, they had me at a very young age.
Yeah.
So they learned how to, deal with all that stuff that was coming their way.
Yeah. So dad's doing whatever he can. Survival. So you did not grow up middle income, lower middle income,
I'd say lower income.
Low income.
Like, we were really struggling for a minute there and just working our way.
Okay. And 5 years old, you get a stuffed basketball in your hands. Dad's a hoop fanatic.
Yeah.
That would have been, I'm going to guess, Showtime Lakers, maybe Chicago Bulls, Michael
I think
Jordan.
That was the peak of the dynasty. They were getting started.
Okay. So that's when NBA just straight took off.
Right.
So he's a basketball fan, and I think that's actually when I got involved and started, really watching the game as a older, younger guy.
Yeah.
And so from that interest, just watching it on TV, being around your dad whenever he was home, how did it migrate yourself into, really playing basketball as a youth?
Yeah. So, I would just be around it so much that I just developed a love for it. But I remember when I say around like 9 or 10 years old, me and my dad sat down and he was like, do you want to do this like seriously? And I was like, of course, as a kid, I was like, oh yeah, let's do it. But he was like, no, like really think about it. Like, do you really want to do this? Because we'll invest money, time, effort, and we'll put everything into the basket if you really want to do this. And I remember like I didn't even have to think about it.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, let's do it. The same day, I was like, yeah, I'm ready. Like, let's get this going.
Okay, so let's unpack that a little bit. So, not making a lot of money. Your dad sacrificing a lot. Wife, 2 kids, young. He's what? At this time, he's how old?
They had me when they were like 20 or something.
Okay.
I'd say.
So he's early 30s.
I'd say they're, yeah. So
he's early 30s. 10 years old, you're what? 3rd grade, 4th grade?
I think so, yeah.
3rd grade?
Approaching middle school, maybe?
Yeah. Okay. And he's like, Drew, like, let's go all in on that. Do you want to go all in? So there was never really an external, like you said, Asian parents, you got to be a doctor, you got to be an engineer, whatever,
Right.
There was none of that, like, Drew, you need to be a basketball player.
Yeah.
Was it any of that at all?
No, there wasn't at all. They gave me a lot of freedom to make my own decisions and what I wanted to go with my career. Because, like we talked about before, Asian parents is usually you get to school because of your academics, not for sports.
Yeah.
So I was really lucky that they pushed that for me.
Okay. So they give you the option to hoop. You're like, yeah, let's go. No, without a second thought, let's go. So then at this point, for those of you who are not familiar with grassroots basketball, there's YMCA basketball as a youth in elementary school. But then there's what's called Amateur Athletic Union Basketball, or AAU, which is the more competitive version, the route most kids take these days to get, a college opportunity to play. And it's obviously more competitive. So at that time, were you just doing the YMCA stuff, or were you moving into AAU and sort of finding your team? Like, talk about that experience.
Yeah, so I'd say when I was like 8 years old, 9 years old, I did play in the YMCA, but I would always play 2 years above my age. So as I was doing that, I was getting a lot better playing with the older kids, and I started dominating the older kids. And around the same age, my dad told me, are you ready to do this for real? That's when I started getting to AAU and being on travel teams and traveling the country with my teams.
Okay, and we'll get into that. So then, how is it like? So you were forced to play older because of lack of players, or you were?
I was just better. Like
better. Okay, but then you're telling me your dad has not an athletic bone in his body.
No, so I don't know how this happened.
How does this happen? Are you sure he's your dad?
Shoot, I don't even know.
You know what I'm saying?
He has so much IQ for the game. Like he just knew how to train me. Like he knew what I needed to do to be.
So he was hands on.
He was. We trained every single day. That was my trainer, my coach, everything.
Since you were
a little kid,
5, 6, 7 years old. Just started out that way.
Exactly.
Okay, so he had the mental aspect, but he
couldn't show me.
Can't do a crossover. Can't do a,
So I remember when I was a kid, we always butt heads when I was a kid, because as a kid you always get frustrated on what's going on. But I specifically remember a time where he was trying to show me how to do this drill, and I was getting so mad at him that he couldn't show me. So he just put up the YouTube video. So it would be stuff like that. Like he would know what to train me on, show me the video, and talk me through it. And he'll know like the different footworks, the timing, and it's just up to me to just put it into action.
Okay, so that brings up a very good point. So then now, a lot of this is about inspiration and how to inspire people. A lot of this podcast is about how to inspire people to overcome these challenges. But when you get when you get these scenarios where the parent is parent coach, right? Similar, like my son plays hoops and I'm kind of a coach to him.
Right.
Was there any blurring of the lines between dad and coach, or player and son? Like, like friction, or like, just explosive moments where, not even at that young age, but as you become a teenager and becoming your own man, like, talk to me about that. What was that interaction, or how was that like?
So we definitely got into a lot of confrontations, but I felt like it was good because we were going after the same thing. Like, we were passionate about basketball. We were passionate about my career, where I wanted to go with it. So of course we're going to clash on different opinions, different ideas. Like, he would get mad at me because I was missing too many shots, and I would get mad at him because I just wanted to do my own thing. But despite all that, like, he pushed me to be my best, and he really inspired me to push through adversity and figure things out on my own.
So was there ever a time where you felt he was living his dream through you, or alternatively, he was trying to develop you into your own player/man?
So I'd say growing up earlier, like 10 to 15 range, I felt like he was pushing me harder than I was pushing myself. So like because he always had this dream of me going to play college. Like that was his end goal for me. Like
his dream for you, or was that your dream?
That was his dream. Like he wanted me to use basketball to get into college.
Got it.
So
okay, that makes sense. Lower income,
Exactly. Like we couldn't afford, tuition like other people could. So we had to use basketball as a way to get a scholarship. And some days, like he would want me to get in the gym, and I didn't even want to get in. And there would be arguments that we would have, like he wants it more than me. And when I was a kid, I didn't realize that. I just always like, oh well, I'm in the gym, like I'm putting in work, but now that I'm 22 years old, I'm looking back, it's like, yeah, he did want it more than me at a certain point. And then once we hit that age where I hit high school and he slowly started to back off just a little bit.
Okay.
I had to realize I had to push myself to a new level.
Okay. So let's not jump too far because we're still
in
elementary school.
I get the whole story.
Yeah. So we're 10, 11 years old, 12 years old, getting into AAU. Dad's your coach. Obviously, a lot of like my parents, they didn't really know the system.
Okay.
They didn't really know this was the route. If you wanted to go this, because refugee families, they're just trying to get to survive.
Right.
They don't know the culture. They don't know the subsystems on how to get people where they need to get to, so to speak. My parents didn't even know AAU existed, right?
Yeah.
So, how did you all find your pathway into it? Did your dad have your own team? You joined another team? Sort of talk about that pathway from 4th, 5th grade leading into middle school.
Right. So I was playing at the Y. Like I said, I was doing really well. And we started training with other people too, like other trainers that would be at like 24-hour fitness that would show up. My dad was really good at building connections, building a network, and having resources for me to get better, not just with him, but with other people. And soon, like, we just found a team and we just hopped on, and I played with them for, I'd say, like, majority of my middle school career, elementary career. Like, I played with them for a long time.
Who was that team?
It was a Cypher Heat. So we played for Cypher Heat, and we transitioned together into iRise. My dad was the assistant coach for Cypher Heat.
Okay. So he's assistant coach and then moved to iRise in what year, what age?
I couldn't even say. It was still, like, elementary,
middle school. Okay.
Yeah.
So it brings to the, we try to apply people's life story to general life so that we can help other people in similar situations. But you're telling me that a lot of your early success relied on who your dad knew.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes it is true, or it's all the time true, that it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly.
And that's the real world, right?
Yeah.
It's not what. So networking and getting out there is extremely important. A critical component in realizing dreams.
Right.
Would you say, right?
I would agree.
So, because if he hadn't known those people or got to know those people, and, for him, I think it's very courageous that, again, refugee family, not a lot of money, but he's putting himself out there.
Right.
In the unknown, trying to make contacts to help you get to where you want to go, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and that's just what it takes. That's what it takes. So, you're hooping AAU. Any vivid experiences you recall from that, middle school time frame of AAU basketball? Because you see YouTube videos these days or IG where parents are fighting referees nowadays. It's like, I don't know what it is. People go out of their mind sometimes at these AAU tournaments. And if you don't know AAU, you should just Google parents at AAU fights or whatever. The other day the parents was, referees really had to square up against the parents, right?
I saw
That's
that,
just crazy.
It is crazy.
There was another video of gunshots. I mean, not to say it's all like that, but it's getting to that level of intensity. So anything like that growing up, or how do you contrast your days of AAU basketball early, not in your high school, but with today's day and age of AAU?
Man, when I played AAU, there wasn't this much social media exposure. Like, I will say kids today, like, it's easier to be put on platforms and go viral, per se. Back when I was playing AAU, there was hardly any cameras around. I never really saw any fights or anything. Like, there would be arguments in the stands, like, trash talk here and there, but it wasn't anything crazy like it is today, for sure.
Yeah. So it's really hyped up and
Yeah.
over energized, so to speak. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that, I mean, sort of, what do you think? Like, why is that these days?
I honestly don't know. Like, I think it's like a lot of social media buildup, like who's better than this kid? My kid's better than your kid. Like, he's overrated, he's overhyped.
Yeah.
Like, just trying to prove a point, I feel like.
Yeah.
A lot of people's pride is on the line when it comes to AAU these days.
Yeah, and more often than not, it's from the parents and not the players, right?
Exactly.
Because the players, they just
play. We just hoop.
Yeah, like, I don't care where I am in my ratings. I just going to go put out the best show I can, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think a lot of it is, parents trying to live their dreams through their kids, and they take it personal.
Yeah, they take a little far.
A little far, man. A little too personal.
Yeah.
But any highlight moments that you really knew, like, when did you know
I had a shot?
You had a shot. You had a shot, and you still have a shot, to go further than college. But at what time did you know, like, hey, man, I've got something a little bit more than everybody else that I'm playing against?
So I'll start with the failure that really set me up for success. So in 6th and 7th grade, I struggled a lot with my confidence, and I would put in so much hours with my dad doing ball handling, shooting, and when I get out to the game, I wouldn't shoot. There would be games where we drive all the way to Pearland, Channelview. My dad would pay $15, $20 to watch me play, and I wouldn't shoot. And he would get so pissed, and I would be in the backseat just crying because, like, I just didn't know what was wrong with me. Like, I just didn't have the confidence to shoot. So when we hit that 8th grade mark, I had a trainer. His name was Kenneth Gamble.
I know Coach Gamble.
Yeah, Coach Gamble.
Good guy.
He set a team up, and he's like, I need you to be the best player. Like, we're going to go as far as you take us. So I was like, I had no other choice but to succeed and to score the ball and to do things I've never done before. So 8th grade, I was guarding 94 feet. I was averaging like 20 points a game. Like, I'd go into tournaments scoring 30, dropping 10, 15 assists. Like, that was like a really good year for my AAU and really like helped me get the pedals moving. Okay,
so let's unpack that a little bit. So you said something really critical, which was you realized you could really play coming out of a failure, right? Which is a critical component in life. Right, because you have to know or experience. I think personally, you have to. It's like recover, like being an alcoholic. You got to hit rock bottom before you can find your way to where you're supposed to be. Right, I agree. So success comes from failure because you learn more about yourself actually through failure than success. Right. If you always have success, it might you just might have been lucky, and you'll never get to know yourself. Whereas failure, now you know who you are to become successful. Such a critical point, and I think that's a blessing to have experienced that. Man, at such a raw young age, whatever it is, 6th, 7th grade, you're 10, 11, 12 years old. Yeah. Whereas some people, they don't get that first failure until their 30s or something like that, which is crazy. Yeah, that is. So unpack that a little bit. So you're putting all these hours in from 3rd grade up to 7th grade, let's say. Hours and hours with your dad, investment, time and money. I'm in the same boat with Nate. Yeah. And you just won't.
I just won't do what I worked on.
In retrospect, what was it? A mental block? Was it a fear of being successful? Because a lot that holds a lot of people back, right? Like, there's two unknowns: the unknown of failure or the unknown of success, and people are more comfortable sometimes with the unknown of failure because that's what's expected. Right. It's easier to fail than to be the superstar. Exactly. So, sort of, have you meditated on it enough to know why or what was that barrier for you just to be you?
Yeah, I think it was just I had fear of messing up a lot as a kid. I just didn't want to be in a negative light. Like, whenever you turn the ball over, everyone's like, "Oh, why'd you pass that?" Or when you miss a shot, I was like, "Oh, he's missing shots." Like, I just didn't want to be that person that was making mistakes, and that really limited me in my development as a young age. I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to please everybody. I wanted to pass the ball to everyone, make everyone happy. Okay. I really don't know. Like, I still don't have the answer because sometimes I do struggle with my confidence today. But I wish I knew.
Okay. Or in the alternative, so let's think about it from a cultural standpoint. Not a lot of Asian basketball players.
No.
You know, Yao Ming with the exception. I mean, a couple Filipino guys in the NBA now, but not from Vietnam.
Right.
Right. Not a lot of hoopers.
No.
Although I will say in today's culture, a lot of the youth is coming up.
We're getting there.
But in your era, and even in Nate's era, now, not a lot of South Vietnamese kids hooping.
No.
So at that time,
oh yeah,
what was it? Predominantly black African American.
Yeah.
And so was there a cultural thing? Like you go into the gym. I mean, so let me just kind of describe this for the audience and chime in whenever.
Yeah.
You go into a tournament. If it's a lot of teams, there's boys, girls, third grade through high school, multiple organizations, teams traveling from. Like these tournaments are packed. You walk in and you stand out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'll give you a more intimate example that I remember. I remember I went to Pearland for a workout with the Rice Warriors, and we were in a small gym. There was like 5 of us, and I was the only Asian kid, and the other kids were like top ranked at their age. Like we're still young, but they're top ranked, one of the better kids.
Yeah, we'll get into
and
that.
Like I walked in the gym and I just felt intimidated, like for the first time. Like I was nervous. I was like, what are we doing here? Like this is in Cyprus.
Yeah. This isn't Cyprus. So this is not intimidation out of lack of talent,
right?
But just that you were different,
right?
Which at that age could mean a lot of things. Like so even today, Nate will go to camps at colleges and he's the only Asian kid. You know, so I get it. I mean, there's a lot of I don't want to say stereotype, but it is what it is. Like, you know, there's, as you know, in my audience, there's the sign in my law office. It is what it is. And it is what it is. I mean, obviously basketball has in athletics itself, there's a lot of talent in all nationalities and cultures, but, Asians is not known for hooping.
Right.
So you had to overcome that to begin with, right?
For sure.
So, and successfully you have. So now we're moving into, okay, we're AAU. You find your confidence. You're averaging 20 and 10 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
8th grade. Take me into high school now.
Yeah.
Come in as a freshman, Cy Falls High School. At that time, was Cy Falls known as a basketball school?
They made the playoffs regularly. They just couldn't get past the threshold of like the 3rd or 2nd round, but they were like on the come up for sure.
Okay. Division.
So high school? So
high school.
It was 6A.
6A.
Yeah.
6A in Texas, y'all bigger,
the best of the best.
Best of the best. Big schools, a lot of players. Okay.
And I had the expectation coming in to be on varsity. Like I just had no doubt I was going to play varsity basketball.
You're known at this time now in the community.
Yes.
Okay.
I had a little bit of I just got done at the CP3 camp. I got an invite to go to his camp for the top 100 players.
CP3, which is Chris Paul, plays for the Phoenix Warriors right now.
Yeah, so Phoenix Suns.
Sorry, Phoenix Warriors. Sorry.
That old mentality's coming out, man.
Yeah, that early Alzheimer's.
That old head.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But, I just got an invite to the CP3 camp, top 100 players in the country. So I'm, like, very high on myself, a lot of confidence. So
this is in 8th grade.
This is 8th grade. 8th grade summer. I'm doing all this good stuff.
Okay.
Get into high school, and I'm like, okay, I should be able to be on varsity my first year.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I got on JV, and I will not lie. When I was on JV, it kind of hurt because I just felt like I was talented enough to play varsity.
Okay.
But I just took it as motivation. I just added fuel to the fire, really.
Okay. Top 100 players in the country or point guards?
No, players.
Players all around.
There's current NBA guys that are playing now that were at that camp.
Okay.
So, like, Zion was at the camp that I was at.
Zion Williamson
was at the camp. Cam Reddish.
Okay.
Chet Holmgren. Like, there was guys that were at that camp that I didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
They ended up being NBA players.
Okay. So you're at that level, 8th, 9th grade. That's a huge jump, man.
Yeah.
From 7th grade not wanting to shoot to all of a sudden top 100.
Yeah.
Like, that's almost meteoric in that for that age group. Like,
yeah.
So what was that like? What was that journey like?
It was it gave me a lot of confidence. It made me feel like all the work that I put in, it was paying off. And just my Coach Ken Gamble, he was just like enforcing. He was like, you have to be like this player that you're working to become, because if not, like, we're going to lose without you.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to step it up and do it, because he would get on my butt about not shooting.
Yeah.
And I would hear him. Like, he would bark at me and be like, Drew, like, you got to shoot. Like, this is your game, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. So what was it about Coach Gamble taking an interest in you? What have you ever had that conversation? Like why did you pull me to be the superstar of the team versus like all the other players?
I think he just saw the potential in me. Like I think he saw potential in me to become.
Was it potential or that you were just a hard worker, or you sort of what was
I think both, because I would train with him every single day, so I was kind of like his guy. I was one of his guys that he would train regularly, 2 days every day. Just putting in a lot of hours with him, and he knows what I could do. I just needed someone to give me that confidence. And
and where's your dad in this picture? Like he's been on this train, right? Since third grade. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, Coach Gamble's taking over. Like sort of what's that?
So me and my dad would still train together on weekends and stuff like that, and he would still coach me up, and we watch film together. We'll talk about what to do better, what should I do, what I shouldn't do.
Okay.
But I think he realized when I got to that age, he was kind of passing me off to different coaches that he could take a step back, because we butt heads so many times, like I said, when I was a kid, that we couldn't find the line between coach and dad and son and player, that it was hurting our relationship a little bit. So he saw that, recognized it, and kind of took a step back. Okay.
And where's mom in this the entire time?
Emotional support. She's telling my dad, stop being so hard on him. He's just a kid, and let him enjoy his life.
Yeah.
But I think my dad just saw the bigger picture and saw, because I told him, I was like, I want to invest all my time into this. Like, I want to do this for real.
Okay.
So my mom, she was just in the background. She would, make me feel better if anything went wrong with my dad.
And so one of the big questions I have with my players that I coach is, when you don't have a good performance, is it a silent drive home? Or is it, you should have done this, you could have done that, come on, why didn't you do that?
So
there's two parts. Like some parents are like, it's that, the dad will stew.
I think the awkward silence is the one that hurts me the most.
Yeah, why is that?
Because it's like, it's so quiet. Like when you try to talk, it's
you messed up. You didn't put a good one. Yeah,
exactly. It's just really bad, really awkward drive home, especially when you drive from like Channelview.
Yeah,
it's like
hour drive.
Yeah, it's so bad. So it's not good.
Okay, so it was the silent.
It was silent.
Awkward silence.
It was a silent up until like 10 minutes before we got home.
Then it's
then he would start chirping at me, and then we'll get inside the house and then sit on the couch and start chirping.
Start tripping out on
exactly.
you like big time. Like I put in all this time. Why can't you do that kind of deal?
Exactly.
And how did that make you feel though? Like
as a kid, it was defeating. Like it was. I just didn't. Back when I was a kid, I didn't use it as motivation like how I do today. But it defeated me a lot of days. Like it made me
depressed, or
it made me question my love for the game. Like if I really wanted to keep doing this, like could I handle being criticized this often?
Yeah. Okay. So, which leads me to, there's a lot of like, I think like elite competitive sports. It's more in the head than anything else.
Right.
Right. So was there sort of a psychology thing where I just need to toughen this kid up? So I'm going to just lay the hammer down. Like I need to toughen up, make him mentally strong. There's a story about the late Kobe Bryant. He would never let his daughter win anything. It could be checkers, it could be go fish, it could be Candyland or something like that, shoots and ladders. He would never let her win, only because to teach the lesson that you gotta win to win, right? Well, do you think there was an element of that, or is it just,
I think
he was just venting out?
I'm opposed to that and say that it's really on you as a person, and you had to get through that roadblock on your own, because there could be so many people telling you, oh, snap out of it, like you have all the talent in the world, like use it. Or they could give you destructive criticism and be like, oh, like, you're not doing enough, like, you're not doing this, doing that. But it's not going to get through to you unless you let it get through to you. Yeah. Like, it's all on you to determine your mindset and your confidence in yourself.
Right. So your dad could have been really harsh on you. You could have been in denial. So it would be just him screaming for no reason.
It didn't work.
It didn't register.
No.
Didn't register. Wow, that's crazy, man. There's such similarities between you and your dad and, Nate and myself in that regard. So freshman year, you're expecting to start varsity. You get JV.
Yeah.
Did you feel you were a better player than the varsity players?
I did.
Yeah.
I felt like I deserved an opportunity for sure.
Okay. Was it not even a consideration? Not even like you go head to head against varsity players and see what happens?
I felt like they had more experience than me, but I had a lot of talent to give.
Yeah.
I was really confident in myself that I could be on varsity and eventually play big minutes.
Okay. So how did you spend your time on junior varsity as a freshman? Like what was there? What was that experience to get you kind of to the next level? Like you're already top 100 player.
Yeah. So I felt like there was a 2-week period when I first got on JV, and I was like, okay, like let me use this the right way. Like let me not use this as a way of being like you're not good enough. Let me use this as like motivation, like I said.
Okay.
And let's elevate. Let's show coach that I'm undoubtedly a varsity player. So I play JV. I'd average like 20, 25 points a game, and I'm killing. Like I'm killing guys. I'm dominating JV.
Yeah.
So
94 feet, defending, locking people up all across the board. So again, lot of things to unpack there. So setbacks are setbacks. Everybody's gonna get. I've had setbacks. Mm-hmm. I'm sure everyone in our audience listening has had setbacks.
Right.
So there's two ways to look at it, right? You can let it defeat you. Mm-hmm. That's why it's called a setback, or turn it into a positive as motivation. Right. Right. At 14, 15 years old, that's a very mature way of looking at the setback. Was that something your parents instilled in you, or is this you just came internally?
Yeah. No, I felt like my parents had a big influence on me, because I came home and I was complaining. I was telling why am I not on varsity? Like, why am I on JV? I don't get it. And my parents was like, then show it. Like, just simple as that. Like, show it.
It's a very matter of fact.
Like, show why you deserve to be on varsity.
It is what it is. Okay. So it wasn't lack of confidence on your end. Mm-mm. It was just perspective.
Yeah, it was perspective. Huh. Yeah. Once I changed the perspective and was able to channel in the motivation, it was good.
Okay. So it's as simple as that, man. So for our audience, in a future podcast, perspective is, I think, everything. Mm-hmm. How you frame it in my industry, how you frame a legal argument, how you voice the story in a certain perspective changes the whole dynamic of the energy and what can come out of it, right? So that's what you did in this instance. So then how successful were you your junior year? You're averaging 20, 25. How'd the team do?
So my junior year, I actually...
Not your junior, on JV.
On
as
JV.
A freshman. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was averaging 20, 25. We lost one game, so we got second in district.
Okay.
And it was a good season. Like, I had good games all throughout. Just constantly trying to prove myself to coach. So
if you're on JV, how were your teammates on the JV team? Were they to your level, or were you heads and shoulders above your peers on the JV team?
Oh, no. There was guys. We had some talent. Like, Cy Falls does a good job of building talent from the ground up. So we were good. There was, I say, 2 or 3 guys that were on my team on JV that ended up being starting varsity guys. Yeah. Like Kendall Scott, we played JV together. Zach Stevenson, Nigel Hawkins came down to JV and played. So, like, there was good talent around us. So I just made it a point to be the best.
But you're still a freshman. They're upperclassmen playing JV. You're a freshman playing up to JV. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then that's school ball. Mm-hmm. And how was your experience with AAU ball starting freshman, sophomore year?
So that was a wake-up call, I feel like.
Okay.
That was when
why so?
Because it was just – I think I got humbled a little bit.
Okay.
Because I was at a high. And
of course, you're top 100 player, bro. Come on.
Yeah, I'm at a high. I had a good JV year, and then I get into AAU. It's a whole different threshold. Because at this point, I'm playing with Basketball University. Okay. And I'm on the Adidas circuit. So, like, that's – when you play AAU, you want to play on the 3 circuits: Adidas, Nike, Under Armour.
Okay, these are shoe circuits.
Right, shoe circuit.
AAU slang.
It's the best of the best.
Right.
And I had to wake up and I had to realize there's a lot of talent out here in the world.
Right.
There's so much talent.
Right.
Like, if I want a spot on a roster in college, I'm going to have to pick it up.
Okay.
So,
so despite being a top 100 player, CP3 camp, your perspective changed once you're exposed to a nationwide level of basketball.
Yeah.
Right? So you're dominating Northwest Houston. Mm-hmm. But now when you're going to travel team across the country, you see, different styles of basketball: Chicago basketball, New York East Coast basketball, LA, San Diego West Coast basketball. A ton of talent all around. So you're getting some humble pie served up.
Yeah.
And what did that look like? Like, guys locking you up. Yeah. Listen, man, I'm a 20-25 guy. You go to a tournament, you're averaging 5. Something like that. What is that?
Yeah. So I remember my first Adidas gauntlet. I played really well. I came off the bench for that team, and I had my first Adidas gauntlet game. I had 20. Then the next game, I had like 15. So I had a good first session. We went to Wisconsin and played Tyler Hero.
Okay.
And
Tyler
his
Hero's Miami Heat with the Miami Heat right now, pro player.
And he was like, top 25 player. Like, and they had a couple other guards that was like top 50, top 100, and they killed me.
Yeah.
Like I held my own, had like 10, but he had like 25. Like
And you're guarding him.
Yeah.
Mano y mano.
I took on the
Hero.
challenge and guarded him, and he was killing.
Okay.
So like.
Okay. And you're not the size.
No.
Then as you are now.
No.
What was your kind of dynamic?
I was super skinny.
Yeah.
I was really fast. Super skinny, super short.
So what? 5'9", 10.
Freshman year, probably like 5'8", 5'9".
5'8", 9.
Yeah,
120 pounds.
Yeah, little kid.
Okay. Wow.
Little kid.
Okay. So you're 5'8", 5'9", freshman. Tyler Hero at the time is
probably like 6'2".
6'2", but he's what year? Like he's probably
like 6'6" right now, 6'5".
Nah, but like was he a sophomore, freshman?
Oh, we were the same age.
Same age.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the same age. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. 22. My fucking old age, man. I'm telling you, bro. So you're going against now NBA level talent as a freshman on the Adidas gauntlet, getting served humble pie.
Yeah.
How was that? What was that feeling like?
It was not good.
Not good. I mean, elaborate on that.
It was not good because of the high that I was on. I just thought I was going to continue to progress.
You thought you were the shit.
Yeah, and I thought I was going to keep trending
keep
upward.
Going, okay.
And then I just went down. And I was just like, wow, okay, we got more work to do.
Okay.
Like just the perspective of, if that would have happened to me years ago when I was a kid, I probably would have shut down.
Would have hung it up.
But now that perspective came into play, I just said, all right, let's get better. Like, let's get in the gym.
Okay. And a lot of the motivational coaches these days is you got to find your why. Like, that helps you overcome adversity. Why, when you don't feel like you want to do something, you find out your purpose, your why.
Right.
Keep going. What was your why at that time?
My parents. 100%.
Yeah.
That was my parents.
Like, elaborate on that.
Being go to college for free.
Yeah.
That was the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
That was literally the biggest motivating.
It wasn't like I need to prove something.
No.
I need to prove something to myself.
No, because
I need to show all these people Asian boy can play.
No.
None of that.
It was my parents. I locked in on I have to get to college and not have them pay for anything. Because I want them to focus on my sister. Because at that time, my sister wasn't going to play sports. Like, I already knew.
Yeah.
So I wanted all my scholarship money to go to my sister.
Got it.
I just wanted to take care of myself and take care of my family.
Got it.
That was all.
That's very noble. That's very noble. Usually the whys is like, I want to be a billionaire. I want to do this, that, and the other. But this is more of a honoring your parents' sacrifice, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very noble. Props to them.
I appreciate it.
I like that, dude. So you're like, hey, get better.
Mm-hmm.
Then, so now that's summer, right? So freshman year, you're JV. Summer, you're playing with Houston. What was it?
Basketball University.
Basketball University.
Yeah.
You go back in sophomore year into high school again. Mm-hmm. Now what's going on?
Now I'm on varsity. I got moved up.
Okay.
But now I'm literally riding the bench. Like, I'm not.
No minutes.
I play like 5-10 minutes a game. Come in, be a spark plug. If I turn the ball over,
y'all up by 20. Out. Okay, Drew, come on in.
Exactly.
That kind of deal. Yeah.
If I turn it over, miss a shot,
back on the bench.
Yeah, sit your ass on the bench.
Okay.
But
Why?
I don't know. I just felt like maybe the experience of the older guys, they had more than me.
Okay.
Which I respected. Like, they put in a lot of work too, but I felt like I put in just as much work. So I just kept getting in the gym. Okay. It was really defeating for me to be on the bench because I was always playing my whole life.
Starting.
Yeah, I was always starting.
The guy, the man, right?
And then to be on the bench and barely play. Like, because in high school, like, all your friends are there.
Yeah.
Like, they're in the stands.
They come to watch you, right?
Yeah, they come on a Tuesday night expecting to see Drew get in the game. And,
you don't get barely minutes.
Drew don't get in the game.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. So, having done it all over again, would you have rather played JV?
Would I rather play JV? No.
As a sophomore?
No, I needed that. I needed to see why I wasn't playing. I needed to be told that you're not good enough yet to have those minutes, and I needed that motivating factor. So, no, I wouldn't go play JV.
Okay,
I would have stayed.
So, I'm hearing this kind of underwriting, subsurface, just confidence. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of people, man, coach, I'm not getting minutes. Can you put me back on JV? I want to play more.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or, man, I couldn't guard Tyler Hero. I suck. Let me just hang it up.
Yeah.
But it's always like, take the hit, bounce back. Take the hit, bounce back. is that an innate thing? Like, what is that?
That's from my parents.
Yeah.
My parents was just always telling me, like, if I came home to them and complained like I couldn't do something or if this wasn't going my way, they would just be like, suck it up and get to work.
So what?
Like,
we don't got time for your feelings, right? It is what it is, right?
Like, go improve yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay, like, to fail and bounce back from a setback. It's okay. Like, don't quit on it, though.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to do it, do it. That's what they always tell me.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, do it.
Yeah. And I think that's a message that a lot of people, parents, just in general, overlook. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I keep saying that excellence doesn't care about emotions, man.
No, it does not.
At all, right?
No.
It's just go get it.
It's for the hungry.
It's for the hungry. If you want it, go get it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So here, obviously, getting into college ball where, you know, I don't know what the specific numbers are, but you have, I think, like 5 million high school level basketball players, and there's only, you know, 50,000, 100,000 college roster spots, right? So, so here you are, varsity, limited minutes. Mom's still rah-rah, let's go, Drew, or mom's like, what the hell's going on, Drew? Or
no, mom's just in the corner, just by my side. Hey, like, you're okay. It's going to be brighter days ahead.
Okay. Now, I do recall a story you told me before where mom was like, if you don't play, I'm not gonna come watch.
Oh, yeah. So that was in the YMCA.
Okay, so we're going way back.
Let's
okay,
rewind
I thought this was
quick.
in high school. Yeah, rewind real quick. Talk about that, man. Like,
I'd have YMCA games that I wouldn't shoot.
Yeah.
And my mom would be like,
you're clearly the best player.
Yeah. She'd just be like, oh, if you're not shooting or scoring, I'm not going to come.
Yeah, just not watch.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Right.
How'd that make you feel? Like,
I was like, oh, I need to shoot then. I want my mom to come watch me play.
But then you're still not shooting, right?
Yeah, and I was like, it was a roadblock that I had when I was a kid. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, that happened, and I was like, wow, okay.
That's crazy. Yeah, and I'll be honest, I get those moments too with Nate. Like, if he's not performing, I'm like, why am I here?
I get why they were frustrated.
Yeah.
Like, looking back.
Because you see how much work and talent and potential there is.
I was talking to my friend about this the other day because we drove out to Pearland for, like, a T-shirt shop or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, this is far.
Yeah.
And then my boy was like, yeah, our parents used to drive us this far just to go watch us lose or not shoot.
Yeah, right.
And then they would pay money to get in the gate.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, like, I feel bad for them now.
No, there's a lot of parents like that, man. And that's with you being elite level talent. I mean, there's a lot of families with hoopers that are kind of average talent and some below average, and they still put in the money and take the time and all that. I mean, you don't have kids yet, but you know what we do for our kids. But at the same time, you've got this big goal and dream in mind, and and your mom just saying, hey, dude, you don't play, I ain't coming.
Yeah.
And I think as a parent, I think that's one of the frustrating parts is unrealized potential. Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like they see it, and they see the potential. They see if you just do these things, you'll realize your potential, and then you don't do it.
I like that.
I
think that's what happened.
I think that's probably what happened, because that happens with me.
Yeah.
Like, Nate's got all the potential in the world, but you see him, not confident or not focusing on the details as you should, and then you don't have a good performance. And it's like I would say it hurts a little bit saying, man, there's so much here.
Okay.
But I also see that in employees at my work, in friends that I have in their own businesses, and they're all, hey, I can't get this done, I can't do that right, and then you advise them and they don't take the advice, and you're like, the potential's there. So, like, was there a lot of that going on for you and even in your teammates at that time? Like, this guy's got great potential, but he's not putting in the work. You see that a lot.
I would see guys who just, like you said, like, had all the talent in the world, just wouldn't get in the gym. Yeah. And I'd just be like, hey, bro, like, you got to get in the gym. Like, you got to untap that potential that you have, because you could really do things that a lot of guys can't do.
Yeah.
But it's, it's work ethic first. Like, if you don't have a good work ethic, then you're not going to be able to untap that potential.
Is work ethic taught, or is it just innate?
I think
in athletics.
In athletics, I think it could be both, because when you're a young age, you're kind of taught, like, oh, this is what you do, this is your schedule, like, and you could get a routine in, and it soon becomes like, okay, this is what I do.
Habit, yeah.
Right, but some people are just naturally just want to get better, naturally want to be good at what they do.
Right.
So it could go either way, I feel like.
Okay. So then your limited minutes senior year, sophomore, but playing varsity, limited minutes. How'd y'all do that season?
We went to the playoffs. We went to the second round.
Second round.
And I actually got in some big games. We played De'Aaron Fox for the district championship game.
Who now plays with the Sacramento Kings.
And I played really well.
Yeah.
Like, I hit 4 threes. I had about...
You're one-on-one with him? You're guarding him?
No, I cannot guard him. No. He was going to have 100 points if I guarded him.
Okay.
But at that time...
At least you know your level.
Yeah, because at that time, he was already committed to Kentucky.
Okay.
So he was a big deal. Like, that game was sold out.
Yeah.
And I showed out that game. I had like 16
Good.
off the bench. Felt really good. And I didn't play that fourth quarter.
Okay.
Which I was like, okay.
Why not?
Well, why not give me a shot?
I'm on a roll here, right?
Right.
You're on fire.
And I think coaches went with experience.
Okay.
Not to say that was the wrong decision or anything, but I just felt like I played so well that I deserved an opportunity to be out there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then in the playoffs, I had a big game against Sam Houston.
Okay.
I hit 3 threes in the fourth quarter, so I actually got in the game in the fourth quarter and was able to contribute.
Okay.
But I didn't finish.
Yeah.
So I just felt like looking ahead to, future, I'll be able to finish games.
Okay. So talk about at that time, what was your style of play?
So I was more of a playmaker.
Okay.
I like to create plays for others, and I would knock down open shots.
Okay.
I wasn't overly aggressive to score the ball.
Okay.
I would really just find my spots, find the opportunities. I wouldn't force too many things. So I didn't want to turn the ball over.
Yeah.
Because when you're that young and you already have limited minutes, you turn the ball over.
Mistakes, yeah.
Coach's worst nightmares is turnovers.
Yeah.
So if I turn it over, I was coming out.
But you're handling full court pressure.
Yeah, handling full court pressure, guarding on defense, 94
Not
feet.
a dribble penetrator, but you're a dribble dish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Get the offense going.
Get the offense going, as a point guard should.
Right.
But that requires also for you to get your points, players recognizing you, hitting you back on a pass.
Right, exactly.
Which, this is kind of pre-James Harden-ish. So you see that a lot now where it's just a lot of isolation ball.
Right.
Let me go one-on-one, take bad shot, double clutch.
Yeah.
Contested shots,
Right.
and then
An ugly brand of basketball.
very ugly brand of basketball. Nothing against James Harden, but in the youth level, they're not James Hardens. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Right?
There's people that think they are.
They think they are, but the average shooting percentage at this level, at junior high school, is like 20-30%, not 40-50% like in the pros. So now, again, we cycle through at this time, were coaches or were you getting attention from colleges yet?
I was not.
As a sophomore,
Not
even
yet.
Despite sold out stadiums.
Yeah.
Playing against 5-star guys.
No.
Still nothing yet.
Nothing.
Okay. Were your teammates getting any
calls?
Okay.
They were.
How'd that make you feel?
One of my best friends was getting calls, and I was happy for him. Of course, I just felt like, where are my calls? Where are some of my interests at?
Was it an entitlement thing, or was it like?
I just felt like I put in so much work that I just maybe one call would solidify what I was doing.
Yeah.
And
kind of positive reinforcement.
And I was looking for that reassurance.
Okay, that you're on the right path.
Right.
Okay. Now you go into AAU summer season between your sophomore and junior year.
Right. So I didn't play.
Okay, you didn't play.
And that was a huge decision.
Okay, now what? So
that was monumental.
That's huge, dude. Because like
a lot of people don't skip AAU seasons.
That's where especially on a shoe team.
Yeah.
So here's the thing for the audience that don't know, but shoe team circus, which we talked about earlier, is where you want to be because that's where your 5-star players are. And so when they play, college coaches come to watch them. Mm-hmm. Right? Nobody's coming to watch Andrew Nguyen, who's this Asian kid thinks he can ball.
Yeah.
Play. But if you're on the same court playing with or against a 5-star player,
you get the opportunity.
You get the opportunity to be visible as well, right? And so that's why the shoe team is very important. Now, that's a monumental decision to say, I'm not going on the Adidas circuit or whatever. I'm going to sit a whole summer out.
Right. So I would have played on the Adidas circuit my sophomore year if I would have decided to play, but
what was going on in your head, bro? That's crazy.
Honestly, I hated the decision. It was me and my dad.
Okay,
so my dad,
it's okay. So he comes back in the picture saying, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, obviously my dad spearheaded that decision.
Okay.
And it took me a long time to realize what is going on. Like, why am I not playing? Not just for a competitive standpoint, but just the enjoyment of traveling and being with
the teammates,
going to different hotels, exploring the cities. I was going to miss it for sure, but my dad was like, we got to get way better. Like we had.
So was it a conversation, or it wasn't a choice? It was like,
we had
Drew, you ain't playing this summer. This is what we need to do, or was it like, hey, this is what I'm thinking? What do you think? Like, sort of, what was that conversation?
It was a conversation. My dad didn't just come in my room saying we're not playing.
Yeah.
Like we had a conversation, and he kind of made a blueprint of how things would go, and the goals that would be in place for my junior year. And I had to realize that AAU is about individuals, like making sure that you're right and that you're ready to play for the next year. So whenever my dad laid out the blueprint, I was like, okay, this looks like a solid plan.
Okay, what was the blueprint?
Just get better, get in the weight room, start getting
start
getting on protein, get in the best shape of my life.
Okay.
Get more athletic, like literally the whole nine as a basketball player.
Okay, like almost a college regimen.
Right.
As a sophomore, junior.
Yeah.
And was there a lot of times where you were doing things you just didn't want to do? Like, man, I don't want any more protein shakes. I don't want to do this. I don't want to wake up at 6 a.m. I don't want to stay out till 9 p.m.
For sure. There was days
talk about that.
There was days where I just wanted to stay home and play video games with my friends.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get in the gym because at that point we were getting it in 2-3 times a day. Because in the summer I'm off.
Like, what would be a typical day that particular summer?
We get up in the morning
at
like 7.
7, okay.
7, 8 o'clock.
Well, not that early, but that's early for summer.
Yeah.
Right.
Get up shots, go back home and eat, go to the track at like 2, 3, and then go to the 24-hour fitness.
Middle of the heat.
At like 9.
9 p.m. Get more shots.
And repeat.
Every day.
Repeat.
7 days a week.
Yep.
24/7.
24/7.
And man, as a high school guy in the prime of your high school years, you're putting in this work.
Yeah. And it would
why? Like, why?
The goal.
The
scholarship.
Okay.
That was the prize.
Okay.
The scholarship.
And the scholarship. How close were you to saying, man, F this, I can't do it anymore?
There were so many days where I would just like not want to get up. My dad would wake me up like, oh, can we just like skip for today? Like, can we just do it like another time or whatever? And he would just get me up and we'd have to do it. And there was a point like in the middle of summer where my friends were traveling a lot to AAU tournaments and I would be like, oh, I can't play for like one weekend.
Just put me in the roster.
This team wants me to come play. Can I go play? And he'd be like, no, like we got to stick to the plan. Yeah. And at that point I was like, man, like I just want to have fun. Yeah. Like I don't want to I don't want to work like this.
Which is a lot of high school guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. Like if anyone's telling you that they didn't feel that way, they're wrong.
Okay, so that's a monumental decision, but also it sounds like a monumental sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. It was
huge for you.
It was because I didn't see my friends.
No friends, not traveling, not having fun in the summer, which is summer.
Yeah. It was really the gym, home,
and then gym home. And how'd that make you feel, man?
I was sad sometimes.
Not as in terms of like putting in the work, tired and all that, but just how'd it make you feel?
I feel like I wasn't a kid.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Because like kids would be going to like water parks and going to the mall, hanging out, and like my homeboys would hit me up like, "Hey, Drew, you trying to go to the movies?" Like, "Oh no, I got to work out." Like, "Y'all want to go later?" And be like, "Oh no, like I got another workout."
Yeah. Which brings a very important point. How supportive was your group?
Yeah, so
on your goals.
Yeah, so I always surrounded myself with people with similar goals. At that time, they were playing AAU, so like we weren't around each other as much. But I try to surround myself with people who had the same aspirations because we could push each other. Yeah, and we could use each other.
Sharpens iron, right?
We could use each other as motivating factors because a common phrase that I've heard growing up was like, they want you to win, but they don't want you to win as much as them.
Yeah,
and I think that you don't have a good friend group. Because with my friend group, if someone's succeeding more than me, I'm like so happy for them.
Yeah.
And I want them to succeed as much as me or even more. But then I'll just use that and be like, oh, I want to succeed as much as him. Like, let me do the things necessary for that.
Yeah. Which is, well, I was going to ask you that very question. Like, from the outside looking in, you would think that everything's competitive between the players.
Yeah.
But the reality is what I've seen is that players support players.
Oh, no doubt.
It's kind of like y'all are all going through the same shit.
Yeah.
So one of us has got to get out of this, right?
Yeah.
So, I want you to, you want me to, that kind of deal, right? It's that vibe of pushing each other up.
Yeah, I talk to my friends every day about like, oh, like, what do you do? Like, you getting up shots today? Like, did you get up your makes? Like, did you get in the gym? Like, and when they have accolades, like 1,000 points in a career, or like MVPs. I'll be the first one to repost their stories or like call them and tell them how proud I am of them.
Yeah, it's kind of like an accountability thing, right?
I think that's a big deal.
A huge deal.
Yeah.
I don't think you can have an exceptional life or outcome without being accountable.
Right.
Because it's hard to be accountable to yourself. You always give yourself a reason out.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Right.
But if you got somebody else say, hey, dude, you get your shots in?
Yeah.
You got to make your shots. You got to,
right.
got to put in your ball hand. You got to, keep you accountable.
Mm-hmm.
So you take the entire summer off, bro.
Not play one tournament.
Not play one tournament. Not one game. Not even, nothing.
Nope. The closest I got was going to LA to run the pickup game.
Okay. Nothing competitive. You're just putting in work on your own game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you come into your junior year.
Mm-hmm.
Cy Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Varsity, of course. No CP3 camps, none of that.
No.
Are you ranked anymore?
No,
you're not even on the radar.
I'm not on the radar at all.
Well, before we get into your junior year, what is your view of rankings?
I mean, they're cool. Like, it's a good indication of the work that you put in, but it's not the true story of who a player is.
Yeah.
Because a lot of rankings are biased these days.
I think they're very biased.
I will say, as a player perspective, getting a star or getting a number next to your name is a cool accomplishment.
It feels good.
It does feel good. But when you don't have those stars, you feel like you're better than people with stars. So at that point, stars don't matter.
It's like a chip on your shoulder.
Rankings don't matter.
Rankings don't matter.
Yeah. Because anyone
even today's game, rankings don't matter.
Anyone could outplay anybody.
At any time. Anybody can win anybody.
Exactly.
And I think rankings is a lot based on camp assessments, individual skill, which you don't see, which doesn't really matter in a game setting, right? It doesn't account for basketball IQ, game setting, making the right play.
Right.
And rankings don't,
it's
doesn't cover defense, doesn't cover hustle.
Whoever scores the most points gets the most rebounds.
Gets a ranking, right?
Yeah.
So at this point, you're unranked. You're off the radar again.
I'm basically a nobody.
You're nobody. Man, that's huge because 2 years ago, I was a top 100 player.
Yeah.
Now I'm nobody.
Verge, now nobody.
I'm
unknown.
Huge ego hit?
Not really. Just kept my head down. Just kept working.
Because why? Because you knew who you were?
I knew
the work you put in.
I trusted my work. I trusted the people that was around me.
Yeah.
And my support system was so solid that they wouldn't allow me to think that I wasn't anything other than what I was, which is a good basketball player who's talented enough to play anywhere.
Okay. So you take this work that you put in the confidence, and I think in a way, not playing AAU and knowing you put in 3-a-days gave you an edge.
Yeah, for
psychologically.
Sure. Yeah.
Because, if you're on an AAU team, you practice once, twice a week, you go to tournaments, practice once, twice a week, go to tournaments. You're not really putting in that time to get better.
I felt like I was fully prepared for what was coming next.
Okay, so you go into Cy Falls junior year. Starting varsity?
Starting guard.
Starting guard. Yeah, talk about that season, man.
Yeah, I mean, we had lofty expectations because you think like the starting five, really the starting six that we all played together throughout our freshman year. We came in together, and we had one kid transfer in who I already knew because I knew him as a kid. We trained together. Like, he was around Cypress a lot.
Okay.
And we knew we were going to win state.
Right off the gate.
Like, we were just
before the season started.
I remember we made a poster because we usually had like this parade, Cy Falls throws in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And it said road to state. Like, we had like no one even like thought about that last year, sophomore year.
Yeah.
But junior year, like, for some reason we just knew like we could really do this.
Okay.
Like, we could really
like
go.
What was the origin?
Because we played together in this, like, we trained together in the summer. Like, I was always around all those guys every single day, and we'd talk about it. We'd be like, oh, this team last year went to state. Like, bro, we're better than them.
Yeah.
Like, we're better than this team this year. We're better than this team.
Okay.
Like, why not us?
So that confidence,
why not?
chatter already began.
Yeah.
Right?
Why not?
It's kind of like when we're going into a trial or something. It's like, hey, well, we got this case.
Yeah.
We got this.
Confidence.
Confidence. Because everybody put in work.
Right.
Not just one guy or two guys. Everybody.
And we all liked each other.
United.
Like, we all hung out.
Okay. What was the important? So in team sports, because I hear this a lot, man, I don't got to like you, but I can still play with you.
No.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Okay. Oh, now you're going to start a real debate on social media. Okay.
No.
Talk about that. You got to like the people you play with?
You have to like the people that you're playing with because they have to trust you.
Okay. Because on the court or off the court? Yeah, you get y'all boys off the court.
So
you gotta like them like that. Like,
Yeah.
hey man, come on over for dinner. Let's go.
Just being able to hang out, like, just not any animosity. Like, not like, oh, I'm better than you. Like, so like you should like beat it.
Yeah.
Like, we all respect each other. Like, there's a level of respect that you need to have in order to have team success.
Yeah.
Because all the guys I play with, I have the utmost respect for.
Yeah.
But they have respect for me.
Yeah.
So it works.
Yeah. And so that respect is developed off the court.
So the respect developed on the court, seeing how you play. Like, oh, can he do this? Can he do this? Okay, he can, but does he put in the work? Yes, he does.
Yeah.
And then eventually, when you hang out, or whenever you get up shots so many times, they put in so much work. You'd be like, oh, let's go grab a smoothie.
You put in the same amount of work. I've put in the amount of same work.
Then we'll just be like, oh, let's get a smoothie together.
Let's go get a protein shake.
And then we'll talk about video games or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, there's this famous quote from, you can look it up, find it on Instagram or whatever, from Phil Handy. I think he's a Lakers coach who coached Kobe Bryant. And he's like, Kobe, man, like, people think you're an asshole because you don't pass the ball.
Yeah.
And, you know, Kobe's response is, hey, man, I know how much work I put in. And if I see a teammate not put in the same amount of work, why am I going to pass him the ball?
Yeah.
I'm going to trust myself knowing the work I put in. So there is that. I mean, I've seen games where a player has the ball, wide open dude under the basket,
not passing,
and look him off.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I just feel like, cause
and they'll take a bad shot and miss it, and, you know, they're dunking on the other end. You know.
Yeah. I feel like when you work together and put in the same amount of hours, that trust is like inevitable.
It's just instinctual.
Yeah.
It's like, I got you, you got me.
Because I know at Cy Falls, like, if I was getting in the gym at 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, I'm calling Nigel, like, hey, let's get up shots. I'm calling Kendall. I'm calling Trey. Like, I'm like, let's get in the gym together. It was never like, oh, Drew's in the gym by himself. Drew's in the gym with him and him, or
but not me.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would just drag along guys, and they would drag me along too. They'd be like, Drew, let's go get up shots.
Yeah.
Drew, let's put in this. Like,
okay.
Let's do it.
So really, it was true essence of a team.
For sure.
Team. It wasn't about me. It was about, hey, let's all do this together.
Yeah.
And that's unique because not a lot of teams do that. I mean, you see the Golden State Warriors these days. It's like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's
they trust each other.
They trust each other. I want to see you get MVP. I want to see you, you know, Defensive Player of the Year, whatever. I want to, you know. So they're celebrating one another more than competing against one another.
Exactly.
On the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So you make this run to state.
Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah. Talk about that experience, man.
It was crazy, man. We actually lost our first game.
So you all like, we're on road to state, and then damn, we took the L.
So we were preseason ranked number 1.
Yeah, in the state.
In the city of Houston.
Okay.
We were number 1 in the city, and no one really expected us to be like that high. Because at that time, you got to think we were all juniors. So the entire starting 5 was juniors.
Okay.
So we were technically underclassmen, like rising upper class.
Yeah.
Ranked number 1. We go out and get butt whooped by Klein Forest. They just killed us. They were all seniors. They killed us.
Yeah.
So that was like, okay, maybe we need to settle down this road to state and all this, and like, let's hone in on the work. Let's get better each and every day. Let's worry about the next opponent rather than the big game 4 weeks later.
Okay. So you kind of bought into the hype.
Yeah, we did, for sure.
Which is huge. It's this huge life lesson because you got to stay present in the moment.
Yeah.
Right?
It was hard for a 16, 17-year-old kid to like lock in on that because we're on covers of magazines, we're on articles.
Vibe magazine, all this stuff.
Yeah, we were the cover of Vibe magazine. Like, of course we're going to be like, oh, like, yeah, maybe we are.
We're all that.
Team.
We're all that. We're him. We're them.
We're them.
Yeah, we're them.
For sure.
But no, that's a meme these days in the sports is I'm him. But you were them.
Yeah.
But then you bought into it and
got
stub your toe.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, took the L, now going forward.
Yeah, we're going forward. We're on a little win streak or whatever. We get to this tournament that we're supposed to win, and we end up getting second.
Okay.
So that was like, okay, we're supposed to win that tournament.
Yeah.
We got second. Came back. We were playing another tournament. It was a Cypress Hoops Invitational.
So that's in your that's in your backyard. Yeah.
The Berry Center is 2 minutes away from Cy Falls.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's coming out, and we got second. So we're losing stuff that we should have won.
Okay.
So we lost those 3 games, and we went on a massive win streak. We ended the season on a 25-game winning streak.
25-game win streak.
Yeah.
Just total domination.
After we lost that last game, we won a 25-game winning streak.
What was that? What changed? It's like, this ain't happening again? Guys were better than this? Like, what's that conversation?
It was really Coach. Coach was like, you guys need to stop. Like,
what's his name?
Coach Flores. Richard Flores.
Okay.
Great guy. Love him.
Yeah. Still keep in touch with him today?
Yeah. I go to the gym. He'll let me in the gym like every so week, and we'll just chop it up.
Okay.
And talk about the run and just getting it work. But anyways, he didn't buy into any of the hype. Like, he was like, he was telling us to ignore it. Like, we're not that team.
Yeah.
Like, we're not even close.
Yeah.
And I think that mindset installed in us. We're like, we're not there yet.
Okay.
We can be, but if we keep doing the work,
again,
we will
unfilled
be.
potential, right?
Right. Like, he just told us, like, we got to take this one game at a time. Because we'll play, like, a trash school, and we'll be like, oh, like, they're nothing, and they'll keep it close.
Yeah.
And then coach after the game will be like, look, you're going to get everyone's best shot because you're number one in the city.
Yeah.
So you need to, like, lock in on each opponent and respect them. Respect the game.
Yeah.
So
I see that a lot these days where really good teams or players, and I don't know if it's a cultural, societal thing, but back when I played, like, if you were here, you played here, and you made people come up to play you. And if people were above you, you try to play up to that.
Yeah.
These days, I don't know if it was in your time, if your team is here and you're about to play somebody down here, this team actually
I mean, there's a handful
plays
of games.
down to this level.
Yeah.
Why is that?
We just get lackadaisical. Like, you just get lazy and not want to, because you know you're better than them.
Yeah.
So you don't give 100%. Like,
You're not
it's
serious.
It's a
like,
mindset.
Yeah.
I will admit it. Like, there was games where we'd come in knowing that we were better than you.
Yeah, we should smoke you by 30.
And we really don't care. And then they'll creep up and keep it like a 5-point game. Like, hey,
this shouldn't be happening.
No, we gotta come on.
Then the pressure's on you. Yeah.
To perform,
okay.
They come in with no expectations.
Yeah,
they're trying to shock you.
Underdog.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay, that's crazy. 25 win streak. You go to state.
Yeah.
Now what?
We almost lost the first game.
Okay.
This whole run didn't almost happen.
Okay.
We went to an overtime game with Lamar. We played Lamar 2 times that year already.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to beat teams multiple times.
Yeah, because they know.
Right.
Adjust.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they were beating us, and they took us to overtime.
Yeah.
My homeboy Trey, point guard at Lafayette, now he's at Prairie View. He hit the game-tying shot and then propelled us to that victory. Then we played Travis next, Fort Bend Travis. They had 2 Division I players.
Okay.
We beat them like by 10, 8.
Okay.
Then we played Sam Houston.
Okay.
That was our rival.
Yeah.
Sam Houston was the ones that we wanted because they had a point guard named Kendrick Davis.
Okay.
He's at Memphis right now. He killed at SMU.
Okay.
We played him my sophomore year. We lost to them.
Okay. I remember you said, yeah.
We should have won.
Right.
So now we're going our junior year. Now it's our team. Like, we have full control of if we beat these guys. And it was a dogfight, man.
Yeah, back and forth.
It was back and forth. Like, I remember I got into a little scuffle. Like, I got a tech. Like, it was really scrappy, and we ended up winning in overtime.
Wow.
So,
Okay. And that was the championship game?
No, that was just the third round.
Okay.
We're just getting started.
Okay.
We're just getting started. So then we get into the 4th round. We're going to the Berry Center, which is the first year that they hosted the regional tournament there.
In your backyard.
Which was a blessing.
Yeah.
Because I kid you not, I've never seen the Berry Center that packed besides graduation.
Okay.
So it was a great stage, good opportunity. We played at Atascocita, played against Fabian White from Houston. Now he's with the Lakers.
Yeah.
We beat them by like 15, 12. Then we played Fort Bend Travis for the regional final. And that was my best game at my Cy Falls career.
Okay. In what way?
I had 24 that game. Our point guard, Trey, he went out with foul trouble. So I had to really control the tempo. I had a viral play, making a half-court shot, did a nice little spin move.
Yeah, okay.
And we got to the final, and we won that. And I was getting a lot of recognition, man.
Yeah,
I was on ABC, CBS. Like, I was getting a lot of articles written just because of that one game.
Okay.
So I was really confident. And then we got to state. We played Dallas Skyline.
Okay.
They had a McDonald's All-American.
Okay.
A Kansas signee, and now he plays for the Miami Heat.
Okay.
And they were supposed to be the best team in the state. That was the number 1 team in the state.
Yeah.
And we beat them in triple overtime.
That's crazy. And for the championship.
So that was a semi.
Oh, semi. Okay, I'm not even there. Damn,
no,
okay, yeah.
There's 7 rounds in Texas 6A basketball.
Okay, got it.
Got to the championship game. We played the Texas State Player of the Year. Tristan Clark, he went to Baylor.
Okay.
Beat them 63-57 in San Antonio on their home court.
That's crazy.
At the Alamo Dome.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn, boy.
Appreciate it.
Damn, boy. Okay, so huge run.
Yeah.
So you win the state finals, bro. What was that like? Like, what are you feeling?
It was crazy because we just like jumped in each other's arms and was like hyping up the crowd. Like, we really did it. Like, we were so excited.
This is at the Barry's? No, this is in San Antonio.
This is in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome.
Okay.
And as soon as we won, like, it was like your typical celebration. Like, we're throwing the ball in the air, like jumping on each other. Like, oh, like we did it. We did it. Like, this is it. Like, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I ran up to my family. They was like all the way at the top. And I was like,
why are they way up there?
I don't know. They couldn't get better ticket. I don't know. But like, I was like, let me through. I need to see my family. So like, I'm running, like me in my uniform. I'm running, and I'm get the biggest hug to my parents and my sister. And
how did what was that? Like, what was their feeling? Have you ever talked to them about what they felt? Or
I mean, they were crying. Like, it was a big moment for us. Like, it was a big.
All that hard work.
Yeah.
All that work, was that like the payoff? Well,
Yeah.
obviously the payoff is college, but like
For high school, that's the payoff.
Yeah.
Winning a state title is the payoff, and being able to perform and be one of the key guys for that team that was an unbelievable feeling.
that's crazy, man. You were like, you relive it these days? Or
Oh,
like,
yeah. There's still there's a documentary that they have for us, and I'd watch it like every other week, and just to relive some of the stuff. Like, I'll go on Snapchat, look at my memories.
Yeah.
I'll FaceTime my homeboys and
Yeah.
be like, hey, like, bro, we really did that. Like, we were
You're
them.
still kind of incredulous. You were them. You
Yeah,
actually were them,
Yeah.
right? That's crazy, dude.
So it was good.
So state finals, man. And state finals as a junior, you reached the pinnacle. How does this affect you, AAU ball,
Yeah.
the next season coming around?
So I got a lot of hype.
Yeah. So you're now you're on radar. You were talking about ABC,
Yeah.
national,
Yeah.
national media coverage
Yeah. So I was getting
about you, not your team. Your team, obviously, but they're also highlighting you.
Yeah, after that game, that big game at the
Yeah.
Berry Center,
Yeah.
it was like a lot of different articles on me, like
Okay.
talking about the game and stuff. So
And
it was
then
good.
talk about, I don't want to make this about race, but obviously it's unique to have South Vietnamese kid at that national level of hoops.
Yeah.
You don't see that very commonly, right?
There wasn't any other
clearly.
Asian kid in the city that was
Up there.
playing, I don't think, like that I knew of
Yeah.
that was playing at that level.
Yeah.
Just varsity, like not
Yeah,
even
yeah.
talking about levels of like scoring or anything, like just playing varsity basketball.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there was anybody, a lot of people, not in my district at least. I
Yeah.
was the only one.
The only one. So again, it's a lot of African American, black, white kids, some Hispanics, I'm
Yeah.
sure, but you're the only Asian kid.
And I think a lot of people gravitated towards that.
Yeah, why? Why so?
Because people love underdogs.
Yeah.
Like people love rooting for those people who
They don't
aren't
expect to
aren't
win. Yeah, aren't supposed
be
to
there.
win, right?
So it was good because I also had like a nice little nickname.
Which was
Asian
Sensation,
Asian
which is his
Sensation.
Instagram, Asian.Sensation. You
Yeah.
can find him on IG.
And that was a good nickname for me, man, because
Yeah.
everyone referred to me as that
Yeah,
nickname,
yeah.
and they kind of knew me. That was my identity.
Yeah.
And I kind of took that on and took pride in it.
Had to
and-
live up to it.
Yeah.
Had to play up to it at least.
Yeah, so it was good.
Okay. And man, that's a lot. So then, the reason I ask these things is because you see a lot of Asian kids playing these days now. You see a lot of it. I think China's the fastest growing basketball, culture
Yeah,
on the planet.
for sure.
Not because they have so many people, but it's just catching on so much. But at least in the United States, like I tell Nate, like, there's Asian kid walks on the court, you don't expect anything.
No.
Skinny, small Asian kid walking on the court, you expect even less.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So you're having to outperform just to be seen as equal, much less even outperform that, right?
Yeah.
Did you feel that?
I definitely did. I felt like, there's a lot of guys in the city that were perceived as better than me.
Yeah.
And I played up to their level, but I quickly realized that just playing to their level isn't enough. Like, you had to be outright better than
You got to
them.
be straight up, hands down, this
Especially
dude.
being
Yeah.
Asian American,
Yeah.
not being overly athletic,
Yeah.
not being able to jump as high, run as fast. Like,
Yeah.
you had to specialize in some areas.
Yeah.
And, I prided myself on being the best shooter in the city.
Okay. And then ultimately brought those talents, obviously, to win the state finals. Now you're going to AAU season.
Yeah.
Known.
Yeah.
Asian sensation
There's
on the map.
There's a little buzz around me
There's a
now.
buzz. Okay.
A
Now
little
talk
bit.
about that season.
It was good. I played for Rashard Lewis.
Okay.
That was a good program.
Okay.
I played under Coach Ken Gamble again.
Okay.
So we reunited because I left his team in 8th grade,
Okay.
played for BU, like I said, and then we reunited for my junior year. I just
After
felt,
that one summer off.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay.
And I just felt like that was the perfect coach for me because he was always
He knows you.
He was always pushing me. He had confidence in me. So to go into that circuit, because I played at the NY2LA,
Okay.
which is like is a little like
It's fourth level. It's like the fourth, like
yeah, it's not
Adidas,
the
whatever.
shoes. but it's
right there.
It's there.
And but that was back in the 2017. So
that was 2017.
2017. So, but it's moving up. It's moved up.
It wasn't what it is now, but
you have some McDonald's All-Americans.
Yeah.
Playing on the NYTLA.
It was good. I still play top level competition.
Yeah.
There was coaches coming to my game now, like seeing the payoff, like getting some calls, getting some letters.
Okay. D1, Division 1, 2, 3, all across.
It was D2, D3, NAIA.
Okay.
Some JUCO.
Okay.
D1s they would call, but it wasn't anything serious.
Okay.
So I knew kind of where my level was at.
Yeah.
But I just stayed down and kept working.
Okay.
It was getting frustrating during the middle of the summer because I would get all these calls and get all this interest, but it wasn't generating offers.
Okay. Now talk about that process, because there's not a lot of people don't understand the basketball college recruitment.
Yeah.
They understand the process, but don't understand like the ins and outs of it specifically as a player.
So basically, phone calls, interest, letters, that doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
That doesn't mean
you're just a list on a
that's
database.
Just as good as someone's word.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
When they offer you that scholarship, that's printed in paper, and that's how you know that that's an official offer. But usually that comes from like them watching games. They'll travel to where you are. So I'll give you an example. Like I played in Dallas. I had some interest in some programs. They liked me. We kept in contact. We texted, and I'll be like, hey, like I'm playing this next weekend in Chicago. They fly out. They keep flying out. They keep building a relationship with you. They see who you are as a person.
Yeah.
See how you communicate with them. See how you are in the classroom. Little stuff like that before offering you, because they're making an investment on you in the sense that you're making an investment in them. Like they're giving you this money to go play.
Yeah.
And if you're not a good person, not a good academic student, then they can't rely on you.
Right.
So it's much more than just playing basketball.
Right. Right. So that's a whole nother world that we're going to get into in a minute.
Yeah.
But you're generating some interest, not a lot of offers, a little bit of frustrating middle of the year.
Yeah.
How do you take that? How do you handle that?
It was hard. Like it was one of the times where
because you like so your journey is like here,
so much
stay
up and down.
here, yeah, right. So
So we talked about perspective before, and I felt like I lost a sense of perspective because I was starting to doubt myself. I was like,
even after all that success,
I was like, am I good enough? Like, can I do this?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not getting any offers. I see a bunch of my friends getting offers. Like, of course, I'm happy for them, but I feel like I put in just as much as work as them. Like, and I just wasn't getting anything.
Yeah.
Like, it was hard, like, not getting offers and seeing my friends get offers and stuff.
Okay.
So, it was defeating.
Yeah.
So I felt like I didn't take it the right way.
Okay. And how would you have taken it?
Like, how did I take it?
Yeah. How did I take it? Like, what pushed you through?
What pushed me through? Just my parents, really. Like, my dad just saying, like, it's going to come. Like,
have faith, belief.
My dad would always tell me, like, everyone has their own timing. Like, it doesn't matter where this guy is because that's not your timing. Like, be happy for him. Acknowledge his success, but then your time is going to come.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be so quick.
Yeah.
Because I used to compare myself to a lot of my peers. And I'd be like, man, why is he getting offers? Like, I did this and did this, but that was the wrong way to think about it. I should have been like, okay, I'm happy for you. Like, my time is coming.
Yeah. So it's kind of like giving off that vibe to the universe, right? Mm-hmm. That law of attraction. I don't know if you believe in it or not. I do.
Yeah.
But like, your genuine happiness for someone else reflects to the universe or whatever that you're ready to accept that for yourself.
Right. I agree.
And then all of a sudden it falls in your lap, and then here you are.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
Right?
For sure.
Versus like, I'm happy for you, but what about me?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's a hint of envy or jealousy that the universe is saying, hey, you're not ready for it then. Mm-hmm. If you're jealous for that,
right,
you're not ready to handle the responsibility of what's supposed to come.
Right.
Right? So then when did that switch for you? When did it change? Obviously you were playing college ball, so how's that journey? How did that journey come through?
I remember I got my first serious, I was talking to a lot of coaches.
And you're going to camps, you're getting invited to college camps, you're doing all these things, right? You're putting 30 on guys that they're trying to recruit.
Yeah.
And you're showcasing.
Yeah.
But still no offers.
I'm doing everything necessary to be able to put myself in that position to get the exposure. And I felt like obviously there's going to be some bad days, but my good days were really good days.
Yeah.
And I felt like that should have generated something. But my first offer came, I'd say my first experience with my school came with in Dallas. So he came to my games, and actually another school was looking at me in the same conference. Okay. So typically schools I'm not gonna say like not all schools, but typically they recruit within the conference.
Got it.
So like if a school has an offer from you, the other school is probably gonna offer because they don't want you to go to that school
yeah,
and kill them.
Yeah, got it.
So
it's like anything else. You
Right.
generate bidding competition, bidding wars.
Right.
For you, right?
So I was playing in Dallas at the Gasso, and there was a school from the Lone Star Conference. Their whole staff was watching me play because I had a really good tournament. And then I saw my high school rival coach, Coach Charles Ament.
Okay.
He's a AD at the Cypher ISD right now.
Okay.
He told that coach, hey, go check him out. See if you like him.
So it's a different coach, not the staff.
No, just just the head coach.
Head coach.
He was like, hey, go check him out. Like, he plays in my district. Like, he's very good, very solid. Like, go see if you like him. He sat down. I happened to have a really, really good game. He came back for the second game. I had another really good game. And we got in contact, and we talked for, like, every single day for, like, the next couple of weeks.
Huh. And he gave you an offer.
So I went on a visit.
Yeah.
And he offered me.
On the visit?
Yeah, on the
At
visit.
what school? Cameron?
Cameron University.
In Oklahoma.
Lawton, Oklahoma.
Nice.
In the middle of nowhere.
That's okay. It's a D1, D2 school.
D2. Division
D2 school.
2.
Okay. And purpose realized.
Yeah.
Purpose realized. How'd that feel?
It was amazing. Like, to have my schooling paid for and all the time and effort that my parents had put in, sacrifice with money. Like I said, like we weren't the most. We didn't have the most money in the world. Like we hardly had enough to afford for me to go travel to play.
Yeah.
And drive all these places, but for them not to worry about my college, that was huge.
Yeah.
Because all my money, like I said, full ride.
Crazy.
Full ride. Only thing I had to pay for was like books. That's like a couple
$100 bucks, man. Come on now, dude.
I don't make that at my job.
Yeah.
But fully paid for tuition, housing,
room and board, all that stuff.
Yeah. Didn't worry about not a damn thing. Like,
okay, so that was your junior year, summer of your junior year.
Yeah.
So then you just go into senior year of basketball.
So I committed. I committed before the season started. So I didn't have to worry about it.
Okay.
So I could solely focus on winning another state championship.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now, was that your only offer, or you had other interests coming on? What triggered you to commit?
So I actually had another offer from the University of St. Thomas.
Okay.
Which will be ironic later, but it was them and then Cameron University. My only two offers. I had visited Arkansas Fort Smith. I thought it was a good visit. They didn't offer me, but I was grateful for the opportunity to go visit their campus.
Okay.
But
and so in the backstory of getting offers and all that, you mentioned a couple things. Mm-hmm. We visited a school, Nate, at a prospect camp, and the recruiting coach there was like, if we're recruiting you, we already know how you are as a basketball player, but we're calling everyone that knows you to see who you are as a person.
Yeah, it's important.
They're calling your teachers, your coaches, maybe even calling your neighbor. They're calling school friends, just to see how you are as a person. Like, what is that overboard, or is that what?
No,
that's what could be expected.
It's totally necessary, because you got to think, like, they're investing in you. They're giving you all this money to go play basketball for them, and they're like overseeing you when you're at the school, because you're not with your parents. Every day, like, you're gonna be on their campus, seeing the administration, like, embodying their student body. You have to be a good person to be able to go to programs, especially like winning programs. Yeah. So it's not.
In essence, you're a face of the school too.
Yeah,
because you're on media, you're doing all these things.
And we're talking about, like, not even the Division I level. Division I level is crazy. Like, they're gonna do that plus more. Yeah. So it's crazy.
So yeah, and I like to phrase it in terms of the business world is that, the head coach has probably a multi-million-dollar year contract, multi-year contract for several $100,000, if not millions of dollars. Yeah. The coaching staff is brought in under the head coach. And so it's about job security too.
Yeah. They don't want to lose.
They don't want to lose. A couple losing seasons, they're out of a job.
They got mouths to feed too.
Right? So they got to pull in the right people, right? Right. And so that's one component. But then the second component is, are they recruiting? Like, you may be the ultimate talent, but the coach has a system they run. Right. And if you're unable to plug that talent into the system, why would they recruit you, right? Right. Is that how it is viewed, or sort of? Yeah. Or the coach is like, hey, this is ultimate talent. We got to get him, and then we'll just build around him.
So the reality of it is that not every player is going to be a 5-star, 4-star.
Of course.
So coaches have to be realistic and be like, oh, how can he fit in our system? Because each player has a specific niche that you have to fill, right? Whether you're a shooter,
roles,
right? So if you have if you're a shooter, you're gonna fit into systems. Ball handling, like if you're a defensive lockdown player, like you have to fit within their coaching style.
True point guard, playmaker, you know.
Because like I said, not everyone is your 5-star, 4-star athlete who's just gonna plug in and do anything and everything. Right. So like, because there's so many colleges like Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, NAIA. Yeah. That's 5 levels, and there's a bunch of teams in those levels.
Yeah. And even within Division 1, there's like national
high
D1,
level,
high level,
mid-level,
and low level D1.
Same thing with D2 is like high, mid, low. Like every level has that. Yeah. So just find the right players to fit. Okay. It's not all about talent. It's what you could do like within that system.
Within the system, within that program. Okay. So let's move. So you win state your senior year or no?
No.
Not even close?
No, we got to the 4th round.
4th round?
We
out
lost
of 7?
Okay. We lost in double overtime.
Okay.
To the same team, Sam Houston, who beat
the year before. Yeah.
And lost to the year before that. So that was our rival. We lost to them in double overtime.
Okay.
Heartbreaking.
Okay, so they're 2 out of 3, but y'all still state champs.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got the one that matters.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so I don't mean to skip over your senior year, but you're already college. So now talk to me about that transition. Yeah. From high school ball to college.
And college as a whole, or just my freshman year?
Freshman year. Was it awake? Were you equipped? Sort of talk about,
Yeah. Yeah. So I felt like my senior summer, I put in a lot of work to get my body right and make sure that I was fitting the roles that they needed me to fit. Like I was focusing on my shot because they needed me to make open shots, come off of screens, and do that thing. Yeah. Because in high school, I played on and off the ball. Yeah. I was able to do both. At this school, they wanted me to, catch and shoot, maybe run a pick and roll.
So for those of y'all who don't know basketball, on the ball means the ball's in your hands, you're making moves, being creative, getting to your shot. Mm-hmm. Off the ball means somebody else is handling the ball, and you're running, kind of like Steph Curry, running around curls and screens and so on to get open to get a shot. So you're in high school, you're on and off. In college, they want you to be off ball. Yeah. Okay.
So my freshman year was the worst year of basketball I've ever experienced.
Okay. Why is
that? You think that I had highs and lows. That was the lowest I've ever been.
Compact in a year.
The lowest I've ever been mentally, physically, emotionally, everything.
Like why? Because this should be like
the start of something
something new, but great, right? This is the whole reason you put in all that work.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, man. I didn't get a lot of opportunities. Like I played my first game, and I played the last 2 minutes of the game. Like, I was a trash player. Yeah. Then I didn't play the second game at all. And I remember going back to my apartment just sitting there like, how do you go from playing every minute in high school to
no minutes?
I didn't get in the game. At least my sophomore year of high school, I got in for 5 minutes.
Yeah, right.
I didn't even play the entire game. I sat on the bench the entire game, and I was like, wow, okay. Yeah. Like, am I not good enough? But like the perspective, I was like, okay, let's just put in more work. But I still didn't play. Huh. And I was outworking guys. Like I felt like I had a lot of talent, and I still wasn't playing. And it got to the point where I would play like how it was my sophomore year.
Yeah. But just garbage minutes.
But my role was different.
Okay, in what way?
Like I said, like I was playing off ball. Yeah. I usually had the ball in my hands most of the time.
Right.
And like they just sat me in the corner, and like it wasn't me.
Okay.
Like I didn't feel like it was me.
Okay. So what do you attribute that to? Like, because something, even though it was a 2-3 week process and you had a school visit and they offered you, were there different, what changed? Like, what changed? Or was it like they recruited you too quick? I don't know. Yeah. Sort of.
I mean, when me and Coach talked, he had a good plan for me and everything, and typically when guys are upset with their program, they tend to be like, oh, coach isn't doing this, coach isn't doing that. Yeah. I'm the type of person like, what did I do? Yeah. Like, what did I do wrong? What could I do better first?
Right. Which is personal responsibility, should be.
Right.
Don't deflect it and blame it on someone else.
And I will admit, like, there was days and games where I didn't show up. And like
mentally,
and then it showed on the court, like I didn't do anything. Yeah. Like I'm not like outperforming anybody right now. So why should I play? Yeah. So like, I couldn't put it on coach. It was all on me.
Yeah. So, okay. Was that because new environment?
Being away from home.
Getting your feet wet, being away from home, first time ever?
Yeah.
In a big way?
Being away from home, being away from like my comfort zone. Yeah. Like being unfamiliar territory. Like, and I was like, okay, college is like, all these dudes were like MVPs of their district. Like some won state championships. Like you're not the only one that was accomplishing all these things.
But that kind of is expected though, because each time you level up,
there's better and better
it's
players.
best of the best and better than you each time. I mean, even all, to the end of time, the pros, like even in the pros, there's better pros than other pros, right?
Right, exactly.
So it's always a level up, right? And so were you not mentally prepared for that level up, or just no perspective, sort of what?
Yeah.
So what is it?
I just think my ego took a hit when I didn't play as much as I wanted to.
Yeah.
And eventually, like in the middle of the season, like it wasn't bad. Like I got in a few games and was able to put meaningful performances, like 10 points,
average.
8 points,
Yeah.
like nothing to my expectations.
Okay.
So like when my expectations weren't met and like they were like really low, that's when I was like, oh wow, okay, this is bad.
It's bad. Okay, so now, most players in basketball, if you're not scoring points, you can be effective rebounding, doing intangible things, hustle, defense.
Yeah.
You didn't feel motivated to even try to tap into those areas, or?
I tried, man. It's just I felt like, I'll be honest with myself, I wasn't physically ready for that level of play.
Okay,
I was playing against really quick guards, like that were like 5'10", but like super shifty.
Yeah.
While I was playing against 6'2" point guards who were just bigger than me.
A little slower, yeah.
But they were like bigger than me. They just overpowered me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
At the college level. College level, they're bigger.
They're bigger guards,
yeah.
And I couldn't adjust. Like it was bad, and like that was part of me, like with my weight.
Okay.
I struggled a lot with my weight because so
at this point you're overweight or underweight?
I'm overweight.
Okay.
As a point guard, I'm overweight.
Okay.
Because like my junior year of high school, I was a skinny, scrawny kid.
Quick,
fast
twitch muscles, all
senior
on fire,
year high school, I was getting muscle mass.
Okay.
Then man, freshman 15. That's real. Freshman 15 is no joke.
That's because you're on scholarship. You can eat whatever the hell you want, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Freshman 15, for those of you who don't know, it used to be freshman 40. I guess y'all trimmed up, but
yeah,
you're living on your own. You're out away from home.
Oh my gosh, it was
not a lot of discipline. So you're just
junk food.
You're eating. It's like emotional eating almost. And
yeah.
You're just packing on the weight, right?
And I've been super transparent about my weight and how it was. In my freshman year, it was bad, man.
Yeah.
I was like 205.
Yeah.
Going from like
bro, 205.
I was like 175 to 205. Not eating the right stuff.
Cardio's off.
Oh, it was so bad. It was.
But
it was
why,
awful.
dude? You realize your dream. So was it the fact that, hey, man, I've arrived.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to be as disciplined. I'm here.
So I consider myself a mature person, but I think I was immature in my freshman year in terms of like taking care of myself.
Okay.
Because I had so much freedom to go to Whataburger at 3 in the morning,
you
go
want.
to Taco Bell, buy whatever I want to eat, drink whatever I want to eat.
It goes back to that self-accountability, right?
Right. I felt like I was immature in that sense, where I wasn't taking care of my body and my investment.
Yeah. Which is you.
Exactly.
Which is you.
My body.
So that season ends.
Mm-hmm.
You're deflated.
Mm-hmm.
Now what?
I just got back home and I was sulking, like, what happened? Like, what can I do better? And coach usually writes us a letter on what he wants us to improve. And he was like, I just want you to work on your shooting ability, like catch and shoot. So like, that's all we focused on. Like, I forgot how to dribble. Like, I forgot how to be a playmaker and do what I normally do. Yeah. All I did was focus on shooting.
Because we played together, like pick up ball.
Yeah.
You're very dynamic.
Yeah.
All that. Attacking.
And I didn't even dribble.
Yeah.
Like, I was not dribbling, was not doing combos anymore. Like, wasn't coming out pick and rolls.
Was the point guard not kicking it to you, or is that just not in the game plan?
It wasn't the system.
Okay.
Like the system, I just felt like the system didn't fit my style of play.
Okay.
And what he wanted.
Okay. Was that a huge oversight, signing off, committing to them? Was that a huge oversight for you?
Like the fit?
The fit.
So
the
like
system.
when we talked about it, it sounded good. I thought it was the fit.
Yeah.
Like he told me all these good things, and
we're gonna have you do this, gonna have you that, showcase you here.
And then when you get there, it's a totally different story.
Got it.
And like I said, like it's not completely on anybody's fault but mine.
But your own, yeah.
And I still say that to this
Did you ever
day.
have that heart-to-heart conversation with the coach? Like, hey, coach,
I would ask him like, why am I not playing? Like, what can I do?
Yeah.
And he would just tell me, do this, and this. And there would be days where I do it and
still not get in.
I still don't get in.
Huh.
And that was my freshman year. That was the worst basketball playing.
Yeah. Now, sophomore year, did you rebound? Like, come back?
No. So that was the worst mentally I'd say sophomore and junior year, but I'll get into that later. But the beginning of my mental health was bad my sophomore year.
About basketball or overall?
Basketball related, like it navigated
trickled
towards
over
everything.
To life.
Exactly. It was really bad because I thought I wasn't playing that much and not being in the role my freshman year. Like, I'd play, but it wasn't my role. And, like, when you play, like, you work on certain things and you put in so many hours to do that. And when you don't do it, not because you don't want to do it, because the coach is restricting you.
Yeah, it's out of your control.
Yeah, it's just not good.
Yeah.
So, like, it just wasn't my style of play, and that affected us. And, like, we were losing so much. Like, we went 9-20 my freshman year and 9-20 again my sophomore year.
So it's not even not playing, but it's just a shitty.
Yeah, because I could
all around.
Because I'll take not playing and winning.
Yeah,
like that's
it's
okay.
Team.
I want to win.
You feel like you're sacrificing for the team.
Yeah,
team's winning. All right, we're all winning together.
Because I came into college as a winner.
Yeah,
not someone who lost.
Yeah,
and I've already lost
a lot.
40 games. I won 90+ games in my high school career.
Yeah,
and lost like 10.
Yeah.
So to lose 40 in 2 years, that's like okay. What's going on? Like, I could help though.
Yeah.
Like, if you could just expand my role a little bit, like, just
let me do what I do. Let me do what I do.
Yeah, and I could help you.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't the same.
Okay. So you're mentally checked. You're checked out now.
Yeah. Still
disinterested.
Still gaining weight, like struggling with cardio, like struggling.
Damn, boy, you let it fall apart, man.
Man, losing.
You should have asked your mom and dad to move up there with you, bro.
My
Something
God.
like that would change it up.
It was bad.
So now sophomore year.
Yeah.
In the dumps. Junior year.
That was the peak.
The peak dump.
Peak depression.
The peak depression. Talk to me about that.
I never thought I could face depression because I'm always a happy person.
Like clinically depressed or just?
No, just I felt like mentally, like I wasn't there. I didn't get clinically or anything, but like I felt like the symptoms of depression, like that's what I was feeling.
Lack of motivation,
like,
hard time sleeping.
I will admit,
can't
like
concentrate.
I stopped going to the gym. I stopped lifting. I stopped because I usually get up shots after practice.
Yeah.
Stopped. Because I was saying like for what?
Why?
Why
if
am
I'm
I
not
getting
playing?
up shots?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not playing. Like that year we went 2-16.
Oh shit.
We won two games.
2 games, dude.
How do you win 2 games? Like, come on now. And man, it was bad, and I wasn't playing as much as I wanted to. Like by that time, my junior year, I'm thinking, okay, upperclassmen.
I'm gonna get my minutes.
I'm gonna get my minutes. Like there's freshmen coming in, and they're playing more than me.
Were they better?
I don't think they were better.
Well, I shouldn't say. Were they better in the shape that you were in?
They were better in shape than me and better equipped to do what
because you kind of let it go, right?
Yeah, I was still hovering 200.
Damn, bro.
It was bad, man. Like I was just eating, not caring, like just.
It's still. Did you have like a heart-to-heart with the coach? Like
at that point, I gave up.
You gave up. You didn't even want to talk to him.
I almost quit basketball.
Straight out.
Yeah, like when the season was over, I was
of
like,
your junior year.
Of my junior year, when the season was over, I was like, I think I'm done.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I was gonna graduate. Because I graduated early and got all my degree stuff out the way, and I was like.
So academically, you're still holding out.
Yeah, for sure.
Holding up, yeah.
Yeah, because my parents.
It's full ride.
My parents would chew me out if I didn't take care of my academics.
Yeah, okay.
We're Asian, so we gotta take care of that.
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
So I was able to graduate fast and get all my credits in, which was really good, and played a pivotal role in what I am now. But yeah, I almost quit.
That's messed up.
And I don't tell a lot of people that. Like I almost quit basketball.
Just say I'm done.
Because when I graduated, I was like, man, maybe I would just go.
Well, the ball stops bouncing for everybody at some point. Even the great Michael Jordan and all that stuff. It just stops.
That was my end.
Yeah, but what turned it around, man? Lead us up to today. What's going on? Like what?
Yeah. So my teammates helped me. So like my brothers that I had there at Cameron, it was like 7 of us. We all lived in apartments together, and we're so close knit that we just talked to each other about everything.
Yeah.
And I told them, I was like, guys, like, I don't know if I want to
keep
keep
playing. So your teammates knew that you were not in a good spot.
Well, so we all kind of like, I wouldn't say they were depressed, but they were sad because we're 2-16. That was a reflection of us on the team.
Overall, yeah.
Yeah, so it was bad.
But did they know what was your personal internal struggle?
Yeah, they saw me every single day, and they knew. They would be like, oh, you're not working out? I'm like, oh, nah. Like,
did they try to pick you up, or they just kind of like?
They tried to, and I was just like, no, like, I'm good.
You refused? Okay.
Yeah, and it was them that helped me a lot. Like, they talked to me, and they were like, bro, you have so much more to offer. Like, you still have so much in the tank that you don't even know.
Yeah.
Like, just because it didn't happen here doesn't mean it won't happen somewhere else.
Okay.
And then, like, other influences, like my girlfriend, like Nigel, like my parents, like talking to different people, like, they really motivated me. And they were like, just because it didn't work here doesn't mean you can't turn this around. You're still young. Like, you still have years of eligibility. Because when I graduated, the good part about that was obviously getting my degree, but also having 2 years of eligibility left.
Still.
Because of the COVID year.
You get 5 years. Oh, because the COVID year.
COVID year.
Okay.
So you usually get 4.
Right.
So I was going into it thinking I was going to have 1.
Right.
But now that I have 2. that changes
still,
a lot.
Still a lot of runway. Still a lot of runway to go.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay, now, comeback story. What's happening? Like, what happened?
Yeah, so I entered the transfer portal.
Okay.
And that was a crazy experience.
Okay, so for the people that don't know or not familiar with basketball, what is the transfer portal?
Yeah, so basically if you're upset with the school,
upset.
if you're upset or feel like you want to move on, for
change venue,
you want to go
whatever,
home,
yeah.
whatever reason, if you want to leave the school, you go to the compliance and ask for a release. From then, the coach approves your release, and you got to go through a bunch of stuff for that, sign paperwork, and then you're in the portal.
Okay.
And there's a database for athletes to get recruited again. So it's basically like high school part 2.
Okay.
Because you're getting recruited again.
And you're getting screened, and coaches evaluating you, all that stuff.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, but this time it was different because I got a handful of coaches who reached out to me on day 1.
Of the transfer portal?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Which was totally reversed in high school.
In high school, you got no interest.
So I got a lot of interest coming out of the portal, which was surprising to me because I didn't have the greatest stats to back me up. Like, I just had my resume in high school, like my name, my brand.
Okay.
So going into the portal, I was like, okay, like I have some options here.
Yeah.
Like, it was good. I usually got.
So you're getting D3, D2.
I was getting a lot of Division III. I get a D2 sprinkle here and there.
Okay.
But I kind of knew. I knew where I wanted to go as soon as I entered the portal.
Okay.
I wanted to go home.
Yeah. Okay. Why?
Because I just felt like I was the most comfortable there. Like, and
safety net.
That's where my support system's at.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
My parents hadn't come to any of my games because it was so far.
Yeah.
Like my girlfriend would be driving hours just to come see me play.
Yeah.
And it, I didn't want them to be able to do that. Like,
was that integral to why you didn't feel comfortable or to the confidence?
I think they're a calming factor for me.
Okay.
Seeing them in the stands, like, it reminds me of why I'm doing things and why I'm playing and why I enjoy so much. But you kind of reached your goal, though, right? Your purpose was to play college ball. Yeah. You're here. At that point, you don't.
What else I got to drive to?
I don't want to become complacent, though.
Yeah, okay.
Like, at that point, we reached the main objective. Now it's time to create new goals.
Right, got it.
Once you build one.
Once you win, you got to keep winning, right?
Exactly, because if you don't build new goals, then what are you doing it for?
Yeah, exactly.
So I had a bigger goal to become a starter and eventually all conference.
Okay.
Win a championship and stuff. So
you want to come home?
I wanted to come home. I wanted to go to University of St. Thomas.
Okay.
Because, like I said before, I got recruited by them along with Cameron.
Okay.
And Coach Anthony Medina, he loved my game.
Yeah.
And I felt like he really, really believed in me, even since high school. He's been watching me since my junior year of high school. And he kept up with me, like, he'll keep in touch here and there sometimes.
How's it going?
Like, everything's good. Like, not even talking about basketball.
He was a believer before you even were a believer.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, he would it wouldn't even be about basketball, though.
Yeah.
He just built a person. He just built a relationship with me off the court that I felt comfortable with him.
Got it.
Even if he wasn't my coach.
Got it. So the valuable lesson here, I think, for our audience is that your value is internal to you. Mm-hmm. Your value.
Right.
Which, if you put it in different environments, the perceived value can be depreciated or appreciated, even though your value is still the same.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So it seems like when you went to Cameron, even though your value was the same, you kind of let loose with going to 205, but the perceived value went down. Mm-hmm. Now you're in transfer portal. Mm-hmm. It's the same you.
Yeah.
But now the perceived value's gone up.
Yeah.
Right? But it's the same you.
Yeah.
So it's all a matter of perspective and the environment you put yourself in.
Yeah.
Right? So now Coach Medina's.
Yeah. He recruited me as soon as I got into the portal, and I committed within like a week or two and was like, let's do it. Okay. And as soon as I committed and I was like, I'm finally going home, I was like, I got to lose this weight. Second, I got to get in shape. And now I got to like reset my game. Like, go back to what I used to do. Like, build that confidence back up. That was my main objectives for that summer.
Okay. So this is the renewed Drew.
Rejuvenated.
Rejuvenated Drew.
Yeah.
But you're not getting school paid for because you already graduated.
Yeah. That was the only bad thing. But that was a sacrifice that me and my family were willing to make for my happiness.
Okay.
Because I was happy.
No price on happiness, bro.
I was happy going home.
Yeah.
Like, that sadness I felt all throughout those years, the frustration I felt, it was all gone.
Now, 3 years is a long time.
Yeah. Like, luckily, like, I built good relationships with my teammates and my lifelong friends now. But if I didn't have them, I don't know how I was going to get through anything out there.
It's tough. So you come back to St. Thomas, Celts.
Yeah.
And how'd that first season go, man?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was everything that I wanted, man.
Okay, talk to me about that, man. So a huge rebound.
Yeah, it was a big rebound. We won the conference title, and we won the regular season title. I was an all-conference selection.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
And I was finally happy playing to my best ability.
Yeah.
I did what I used to do. I played on and off the ball again.
Okay.
Was able to work on the skills that I used and put it into a game.
Okay.
And know that my coach has confidence in me to do it, even if I made mistakes.
Yeah. So he's giving you some freedom, latitude, because he knows who you are. He's known you for now 6 years.
Yeah, he would talk to me and be like, Drew, like, you're not where you used to be.
Yeah.
Like, I know what you could do.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just go hoop.
Okay.
Just work hard.
Yeah.
Take care of your business in this classroom.
Okay.
And just hoop.
So you graduated Cameron with what kind of degree?
Marketing.
Marketing, and you're at St. Thomas now?
Yeah, MBA.
MBA in marketing?
Marketing as well.
Okay. And you've got this last year of eligibility, man, right, coming up this next season.
Yeah.
Okay, now how's that? What's the goals here? What's going on
in
your head?
The main goal is NCAA National Championship because we're finally eligible to make the tournament. So last year.
So like the big dance.
Yeah.
March Madness.
Yeah, Division III national title. Because last year we won the conference title, and that would have put us in the tournament. But they were serving a little suspension because they jumped from NAIA to D3.
Okay.
It's like some NCAA provisional that they have. So it's a transitional period.
Got it. Okay.
So they dominated all those years without going to the NCAA.
Okay.
My team and our team now could be the first team in school history to go to the dance.
That'd be amazing,
That's
man.
the goal.
Okay, that's the goal. That's the team goal. What's Drew's goal?
My goal, just to be the best
player. Speak into an existence, man.
Just be the best player I can, honestly.
Yeah.
Obviously, the accolades will come if I do that.
Yeah.
I'm not really worried about Player of the Year, All-American. Like, those are obviously the obvious goals that will be put out if I do what I need to do.
So the process will naturally bring results.
Yeah. It's not going to be a disappointment or a failure if I don't get those accolades.
Just knowing you played the best ball you could play this last year.
I want to be in the best shape possible. This is the best weight I've been at since my high school year.
Yeah.
And I'm like.
Yeah, well, when you walked in here, remember my first day, it was like, bro, you like, you know.
I'm 185 now.
Yeah.
205 to 185 in 2 years is really good.
That's good. As a hooper.
Yeah. So I feel great.
So now, obviously, like I said before, the ball stops bouncing. Mm-hmm. Last year of eligibility.
Yeah.
Is there basketball beyond this? Not to define your life by basketball. Obviously, you got life outside of basketball, but in terms of basketball.
I hope so, man.
Yeah.
I'm not really focused about the future in terms of that, but if we were to look forward, obviously I would love to keep playing as long as possible.
Yeah.
Make a living out of it. But I'm also realistic in the sense that not a lot of people get the opportunity to even play college basketball, and it's even slimmer for
pros,
professional. Yeah. So I'm just going to take what life gives me.
National teams, any interest from?
I'd love to play in the Vietnam national team, man. That would be a great accomplishment.
Is that a real opportunity or?
Yeah, I mean, they've reached out a few times like to get me to their league and stuff, but I'm not really worried about it right now.
Right now, St. Thomas Celts, man.
I'm worried about St. Thomas.
Going to the big dance.
Yeah.
That's great, man. That's great. You look back on, gosh, what would that be? 12 years of basketball?
Probably longer than that.
15?
Yeah.
However many years.
Close to that.
15 years of hoops?
15 plus years.
Biggest lessons you've learned, man?
Push through. Like, you never know what's at the end of the tunnel. Like, really, like, it could be cliche, but if you keep digging and digging and digging, like,
trust yourself.
You could do it.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to do it, do it.
Yeah.
Go all out. No matter if you're struggling, no matter if you're at a high, just keep going.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we only get one chance at this.
Yeah. And anything you would have done different?
Nothing.
Just as it is.
As it is.
Told your dad to fuck off a little more often?
No. Everything played out the way it was supposed to
do.
Because it built who I am today.
Yeah.
The adversity that I went through, the success, the failures.
It's that process, right?
Something I could teach my kids in the future.
Which did you enjoy more? Like winning the elation you felt winning the state championship, that game, that moment of winning, or the process leading all the way up to that?
The process, man. Like, it was just fun, like being in the gym, being with my boys, like struggling and figuring out a way to get out of the struggle.
Yeah. So that outweighed.
I love the process.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person that like loves the work.
But you'll find that elite performers, enjoy the process more. Like just Kobe, it was just the process
of
getting to the gym at 4 a.m., leaving at whatever.
Yeah, it's the satisfaction of it. Because knowing what you put in, all the hours you put in, and whatever, it doesn't have to be sports. Like whatever time you put in, you see the payoff. It feels so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. You lived a lifetime in 22 years, bro. I keep thinking you're a lot older, but I'm like, oh, man, you reminded me you're so young, man. But,
man.
you know, that's you know, huge props to you, bro.
Thank you.
A, for accomplishing what you've accomplished. B, you know, again, not about race, but, again, you don't see a lot of Asian kids, South Vietnamese kids getting to this level of basketball success as you have. And you're trailblazed it, essentially. Like kind of like your T-shirt, man. For those of y'all who aren't watching, he has this T-shirt that says Asian American athlete, defined as inspiring, redefining, trailblazing, and amazing. Truly you, bro, in this journey, man. I'm as an older South Vietnamese guy, you know, like you know, almost your older brother. Yeah. I'm very proud of what you've accomplished, man, and keep going. I'm here for you if you ever need, man. And I tell you what, dude, when you go to the big dance, after this season, and you win Player of the Year or whatever the goals are, you need to come back and just tell me about that experience.
Let's do
bro.
it.
That's good, man. I appreciate you being on the podcast, bro.
I appreciate it.
Got something for you.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Some drip.
Little drip,
man.
Wear this to the big dance.
Yeah, I got you.
So the new End-to-End podcast cap, y'all, is coming to the merch store soon. But, you know, one of the first off the line, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I got it.
Thanks for being a guest, bro. What an inspiring story. If you enjoyed this episode of the podcast or any other episodes, please do like, share, comment, follow, subscribe. Turn on your notifications. We drop full episodes every Thursday. Obviously, we're hitting out reels and all that other stuff. We do have a new segment called Prolific Q&A. That's where you send in questions, and I'll answer them on the podcast. Any questions, you can email ask@the2npodcast.com or just send it DM on Instagram or Facebook. Appreciate all the support, man. Once again, Drew.
Appreciate it, man.
Good luck this season, man. We will definitely be going to some games.
Yep.
I appreciate you mentoring my kid, Nate, through his process. It's a remarkably similar journey, man, and hopefully it can be as successful as yours. But, man, appreciate you being here.
No doubt.
Everybody, follow Drew at, again, one more time.
Asian.sensation.
Asian, ASIAN .sensation with an S, SENSATION. I think I spelled that right. Follow him. Keep track of him. Give them y'all support, man. Hopefully they get to the NCAA finals as a Division III basketball team with the St. Thomas Celts. Appreciate y'all watching. Look forward to bringing you another episode soon.
What's up, man?